example, if I want to boost that low end, we'll come in here at the 200 hertz mark and just, very slightly boost that, maybe a little bit less in the nasally area. And then we'll also use just basically a low pass and then a little bit of a high pass with the slope. So that way there's not too many higher and low frequencies. There we go. That's a really simple EQ. And that's how easy it is to add an audio effect to the mic. What just happened? Huh? It is? Oh, are we back? Accidentally ends stream. Little hiccup there. F in chat. Are we back, folks? We know if we're back. It's live again? Okay, cool. Well, hey, it's a live stream and internet things happen. So where were we? Right, we were on EQ. So yeah, that was just how simple it is to add an audio effect. And so, like I mentioned, maybe for sound effects, you want to make sure that your sound effects never go too loud, especially if you get them from, shall we say, places that distribute MP3s. Those tend to have, varying audio quality and audio levels. You want to make sure, okay, it's never going to be too loud. You could simply add a, compressor. Just go through this little setups process here. Maybe set this to something like 30 dB. And now if I play this audio effect, you'll see, oh, it actually is pretty loud. So it adds some compression and makes sure that the volume isn't too loud. And this will apply to every audio effect that's played through the sound effects channel, which is pretty cool. So that's incredibly simple to set up. Or, with music, if you want to add a little bit more low end, you can add another EQ there. And something that we're actually doing currently live in our setup is we have an NDI output. Essentially, this is network audio. So we're sending the audio from Wavelink here over the network to our main production PC, which is then streaming that out. So that's a more advanced thing that you can do. It does matter in which order you add effects. So for example, in this microphone setup here, we have the compressor first, then the noise removal, then NDI, and then EQ. Probably better to do noise removal first because that's then the raw signal, and then compress, the cleaner audio afterwards. And this signal chain goes from top to bottom. So first it's going to process the noise removal, then it's going to process the compressor, then the NDI output. So for this EQ, if I want that on the audio, I actually should put that before the NDI output. And in fact, I should probably put that before the compressor as well. That way, first the noise is removed, then my audio is EQ'd a little bit and, sounds a little bit better. And then it's make sure that's not too loud. And then it goes out. So just keep that in mind when you're adding audio effects to a Wavelink channel. Almost Epic has a question. Is there any way of having a line in? You mean selecting a line in? Because you can definitely do that in Wavelink. Check this out. You have these different, you can do virtual inputs, so something like a virtual channel, game, voice chat, etc. Or you can also add hardware inputs. So in this case, it could be, a capture card or a motherboard line in or a third-party mic, not a non-Elgato mic will also work here. And then you can also add those same effects, right? So I can add a capture card, and then I could even, if I wanted to, add effects to that, which makes it very, very powerful and, just super easy to control all your audio. Launch date for the new Wavelink. This is already in beta right now. If you do want to check it out, you can go to the Elgato subreddit, and there's a thread there with the download links. As well as that's where I suggest leaving feedback if you try it out and you either run into issues or you have thoughts on any of the functionality. Like I said, a Wave XLR, it comes with a Wave XLR. If you have a Wave 3, actually, I think Brett has one over there. Yes. It comes with your Wave 3. If you have a Stream Deck Plus, which we have in front of us here with the dials, it comes with the Stream Deck Plus. And what's really cool about the Stream Deck Plus is actually you don't need a mic. So let's say you already have a different microphone. Let's say you have a Blue Yeti or just any other mic out there. Pick up a Stream Deck Plus, which is again on sale right now for 15% off. So for $170, you can get a Stream Deck Plus. So you get a Stream Deck, and you get the Wavelink software with that, which is incredibly powerful. Yes. So you can do that if you already have a mic.
And you can, add sort of whatever mic you want. I think you were talking about it a little bit, but if you have another hardware input, audio interface, maybe you have an audio interface that you really like. Add that into Wavelink. You can do the effects in Wavelink just like an Elgato mic. Mix everything together, and yeah, it's all the power of Wavelink, but powered through the Stream Deck Plus.
And what's cool is because Wavelink is software in the end, we're constantly updating and adding new features to it. Things like the VSTs that you can find on Marketplace or the audio effects, there's always more being added. Wavelink itself is constantly improving. We somewhat recently added the ability to send the stream mix to a hardware output. So if you are using a dual PC setup, then you can easily select your capture card if it's running on your gaming PC. So there's lots of things that we can do to just add and increase the features and functionality in Wavelink. And basically what that means is if you buy a Wave 3 today or Wave XLR or even a Stream Deck Plus, you will be getting new features over time. And Wavelink today is very different from when it launched in 2020 with the original Wave 3 and Wave 1.
Yes, I mean it's very similar to same concept to Stream Deck. Like we launched Stream Deck in 2017, the OG, and that Stream Deck that you bought 7 years ago, is that right? Has it been 7 years? Can still can use Pages, can use all the cool plugins that are coming out every day on Marketplace, can all use these cool new features that are coming out to Stream Deck. With Wavelink, the Wave 3 that you get today will have all these features coming in the future that are always under development.
Yeah. I saw a comment already from, where was it here? Akira, oh my God, the Wavelink 2.0 is insane. Yes. I mean, again, if you're into trying software early and you always want to check out the latest features and updates, definitely take a look at Wavelink 2.0. It is a incredible update, and we're really looking forward to getting it out to everyone. And again, it's public now, as in you can download it now, just in beta form. If you do, rely on Wavelink and
you're a professional streamer.
If you're a professional streamer, the rule is, right, we don't test in production. But some of us, myself included, love to do that. So
yes.
Yeah, it's out there if you want to get it now.
Yeah, certainly please give it a try if you're willing. And provide feedback to us, because that's still in the works, not quite ready for prime time yet.
Yeah. Stream Deck Plus in black and white gives you Wavelink. You have, I mean, honestly, the cheapest, like a Wave 3 currently for $110, 30% off. That's wild. You get a really good condenser mic with the capacitive mute at the top. You get your controls on the front. Headphone port at the back, either a desk stand or you can mount it also to a mic arm. It's super simple, by the way. You just unscrew the stand here a couple times. I'm gonna keep times. Yep, there you go. So then this goes into a mic arm, and then you plug this in, and then you get Wavelink along with that. And so then you have complete control over mixing your software as well as doing the processing of your software. Are we getting fancy and putting it on the?
Might as well.
On the Wave desk stand there. So yeah, definitely if you've been looking at Wavelink, then take a look. Phil, Wavelink 2.0 needs to be released. I'm using the beta and it's amazing. Well, I'm glad to hear that it's working really well for you. But there's still a couple of things we're working on, and there's even one more feature coming that isn't even out yet, that we're looking to get into the release before. So soon. But for now, just keep using it, keep providing us feedback, and
we could have something like that.
Really nice.
And then we have not shown here, but we do have some cable clips, cable ties. Keep that tidy.
Yep. Okay, so we want to test. Hey, you can test it right now. You can literally test it right now.
Elgato.com/downloads. Yep. And then there's a little button that says beta versions.
Yep. And okay. So we talked a little bit about Wavelink, and you saw me set up Stream Deck. Now I actually want to go into setting up Stream Deck, because it is, it's super simple, and we've got a bunch of incredible deals on Stream Deck right now. Again, we've got 20% off on the Stream Deck Mark II in white and the Stream Deck Mark II in black. You can get it for $120 right now. We've got 15% off on the Stream Deck Plus white and black. And then also 25% off Stream Deck XL for $189, so 32 keys. So why don't we head over back to the studio And I'll walk you through, you know, if you get a Stream Deck today, what kind of that first setup is. But right before that, I think we've got a video that we want to play, and you know, from our sponsor here at Elgato. Let's take a look. Hi, it's Phil with Elgato. You're going to be in a great mood all day because you're about to tap all your problems away. Streamline your workflow, control everything, and enjoy every second with Stream Deck. Now look, here's OBS, one tap, boom, there you go, I'm streaming. Now, overlays, lights, check this out. Off, lights, on. It's that simple. Now, let's add Spotify. Just gonna go over here, drag and drop, boom. One button to play pause. And look at this, one volume control, just turn the dial. No need to juggle apps, everything's right at your fingertips. Nice. Now look, love streaming, hate setting it up, me too pal, I get it. With Stream Deck, your entire setup is just one press away. Go live with no fuss, switch scenes, pop in some sound effects. If you're editing, you know, you can do drag and drop and tap to cut and fade and all that, it's boom, it's right there, right at your fingertips. Now, do you have a boring workflow? Stop having a boring workflow. Here's a quick switch, one tap, boom, emails. Tap again, Slack's open, all without ever touching the mouse. One tap for every task. And look at this, setting it up, it's so easy, even the kids could do it. You're spending way too much time doing things the hard way. Stop it. Why spend 10 minutes hunting for apps when you could just tap? Want to change it up? Drag and drop actions like a boss. You know, if I want to clear chat because there's too much chat going on, well, listen, I don't have any viewers anyways. But hey, if I wanted to clear chat, I could do that. That's how simple it is to set up. And hey, if you're using Stream Deck all day, it's got you covered. Easy to clean and perfect for the daily grind. Want your life back? Use Stream Deck. Simplify, streamline, and elevate your productivity all with just one touch. Stream Deck usually sells for a great price, but if you act now, well, I can't do this all day, so don't wait. Get it right now. Oh. I see no, go back. So there's the buy button, hit the buy button. Yep, right there. A little bit lower. And there you go, click that. Perfect, all right. Wow, incredible.
Who was that guy?
Yeah, and totally different hair, totally different look. I mean, but incredible. Yeah, I had a lot of fun putting that together. I do want to we want to get the audio latency fixed that you guys have been seeing. So
we see your comments.
Yeah, we do see your comments. I think we're going to cut to a quick be right back while we get this figured out. Give us like 2 or 3 minutes, and then we will be back. And we'll have that audio latency fixed. So with that being said, we will see you in just a little bit. All right, are we back? This is just a quick audio check. Chat, let me know. Can you hear me? Yes or no? Echo? Oh yeah, echo. We might need to. I just turned it off. Oh, okay, cool. So loud. Okay, okay. Well, we're getting there. Loud and clear. Awesome. All right. Well, hopefully that fixed that. As productions go. Cool. Okay. Yeah. No, so this should be going through. This is still going through Wavelength, so easy peasy. I can also adjust my volume here if it's still too loud. But all right. Let's talk a little bit about Stream Deck. I think that was what we wanted to do now. Yes. Okay. So Stream Deck. This is the Stream Deck software here. When you get your Stream Deck, it could be a Stream Deck Mark II, a Stream Deck Plus, you know, the XL, which by the way, all of those are currently on sale. Then this is what it'll look like kind of right out of the box. This is the default profile. Essentially what this is we have a couple folders here that introduce you into what Wavelength or what Stream Deck can do. So for example, in the first folder here, we have a bunch of open actions, and these actions simply open something. So for example, yeah, here we have Chrome. We also have, you know, Internet Explorer, or if you just want to pull up the calculator, this is super simple. This is just done via using an open action. Next up, we have links. So just, you know, showing some links to the different websites. The emoji keyboard, this one's pretty cool. So, you know, on Windows, it can be kind of hard, and on Mac to remember what keyboard shortcut brings up the emoji keyboard. So with Stream Deck here, you can simply tap on it and boom, there we go. You don't need to remember the shortcut ever. It just brings up the emoji keyboard right away. You can also just insert an emoji directly. So if you have your most used emoji, you can just add it's called a text action. And then you simply add the emoji in here, and then it'll paste it from there. And then lastly, and this is really cool, if you're ever curious about how something works, you can simply go into the tutorials folder, and here you have, for example, video plugins. So if you have a question about how you capture or how you install plugins, then you can simply watch this video and then close it. Or if you want to know how you deal with pages, then, you know, you can do that. So this is pretty cool, but let's take a look at then some actual functionality, right? So let's do something simple. And by the way, if you guys have requests on something that you want to see, now is the time, like how you want to do something. I can't promise that I'm going to show you everything, but I'll see if I can get through a couple of these. But the first thing is, let's just do an open action, right? I was showing that earlier. So one of the most powerful things Stream Deck does is also kind of the simplest in a way, is just open things. So for example, here's a website. I just take the website action, drag it onto a key, and from here, I can just simply type in elgato.com, hit tab. You'll see it automatically pulls in the logo of the website, or basically the favicon, and then you simply tap it, and it opens the website. And check that out. And also there's going to be some Streamception now. There we go. So that's incredibly simple. If I want to open a program, I can simply take the open action, drag that onto a key, find the program that I want to open. So I don't know. Again, as an example, I'll just use Google Chrome here. You'll see it automatically puts in the file path and everything, and it even pulls in the icon, which is cool. I'm lazy. I generally don't like putting icons on stuff, so the more Stream Deck can do there for me, the better. And now I can just simply tap this and Chrome opens. So that's a second way of opening programs. You can simply do that. Or there's even a third way technically, which is you just drag it and drop the desktop shortcut right onto a key. So now if I want to open OBS Studio, I can simply tap that key and boom, OBS Studio was opened. So really cool and really easy to set up. What about doing something like, I don't know, playing a soundboard, right? Or basically doing a soundboard audio. That's also really easy. We have this built into Stream Deck. It's here under soundboard. You just take the play audio action, drag that onto a key, and then you can choose a file. Now this file can be an MP3, it could be a WAV file, you know, just any type of audio file, really. But there's also integration for and support with our marketplace. So I've downloaded a couple audio effects here from our marketplace, and so that's where Stream Deck will see them right away. I can just double click. There we go. And now if I tap this key, it plays a sound. And in fact, you might have heard that if I set up Wavelength for that. But the question might be, okay, so where do I find more sound effects? Where do I find more music, right? And this is something that comes with Stream Deck. You can get those at Marketplace. If I go to our marketplace here, you just click that link. Here you can find plugins, icons, profiles, sounds, and more. So if I want to just grab a quick sound, again, you can use your own MP3s. That's totally fine. But we also have a ton, I mean, hundreds, if not thousands of files here that are just different types of sound effects. So for example, I don't know, game radar ping. I don't have headphones. I don't know what this sounds like, but I'm just going to click download and you'll see it immediately actually opens it. And in one click, I've downloaded a new sound file that I can now just, add a new play audio effect or key and select that game radar ping. There we go. And if I tap on it, it'll just play. Super simple. But okay, that's sound effects and that's opening things. What about let's say Discord, right? I've got Discord. Let me open it up here. Not routed, so you can't hear it. Okay, but you get the idea, right? Let me open Discord here, and we have a Discord plugin. So, we're in streamer mode, of course. So let me hop in, and if I want to control Discord, say mic mute, deafen, or even switching servers, then you can do that with the Discord plugin. Installing plugins is, again, incredibly easy. The first thing you want to do in Stream Deck is actually open the marketplace here, and you'll need a marketplace account first and foremost. Simple, takes 3 seconds to sign up. You simply name, email, done. Then you can head over to plugins, and you can just start looking for the plugins that you want to install. And there are at this point, I think over 300 or something like that, if not more. And there you have everything. You have a YouTube ticker that shows you if a channel has a new video or is live. You have a simple color picker. There's audio meters if you want to see playback stuff. There's TikTok Live Studio if you're streaming to TikTok. There's even just, you can roll dice if you want to. There's an incredible amount of plugins to do lots of different things. But we want Discord control here. So I'm going to go ahead and go into Discord, click open in Stream Deck. And since I've logged in before, it's literally just one click. Check that out. Now it's installed. Now I can actually go ahead and hide Marketplace, and Discord pops up right here. And here are all the actions. So it'll have a little new indicator, kind of like what you see here with these Win Tools and Super Macro by Barrator. It'll have a new indicator as well as a little blue dot to show you that it's a new plugin. You can also see what you've just installed by going up here into the notifications panel. Now, I want a simple mute and unmute. I'm just going to drag that onto a key. Discord is going to, obviously I need to authorize my account, so I'm going to click on request access. Discord is going to pop up with this little authentication screen here. All I have to do is click authorize. I'm done. That's it. I can just simply tap this key here and check this out. It's muted in Discord, and it's obviously muted in Stream Deck as well. And the cool thing is this is bi-directional. So if I unmute in Discord, it also unmutes on Stream Deck because these two are actually talking with each other. Discord is telling Stream Deck, hey, I'm unmuted, and vice versa. When Stream Deck tells Discord, unmute or unmute, you can see it happening there. So it's incredibly simple to set up. There's tons of controls that you can do here. You can do push to mute, push to talk, set audio device, server stats, notifications, and one of the fun ones is soundboard. So if you're in a server, you can simply, it'll show all the soundboard ones. These are just the default ones, but if I just, click on Quack here, now that's selected, you can see it pulls in the icon right away. And I'm not in a server at the moment, but if I were, then I can simply tap that key and it plays that sound effect for everyone. So super simple. Of course, on the volume control side, I can even, using a Stream Deck Plus here, can even control my own volume. So for example, if I want to change the level of my mic or maybe the headphone output, I can do that. Or if I'm in a server with other people, this one's a fun one. If you're a server admin, you can actually change, well, not only server admin, but if a friend is too loud or too quiet. I play with some people who, for some reason, I always have to turn them to 120%. I could set this to a specific user in a server, one of my friends or just anyone, and then, using a dial, rotate it and then bump them up or bump them down, depending on how loud or how quiet they are. The Discord integration is super powerful, but you can also see just how simple it is to set up. All you need to do is install the plugin, which is one click, authorize, which is, 2 clicks, and then drag and drop. It's so simple. And the same thing can be done not just for Discord, but also for other apps like, I don't know, let's take Microsoft Teams here. Teams, definitely one of the most used video conferencing and voice chat apps out there. There's a Teams plugin for Stream Deck. So I can just go back into Marketplace here. and I can just search Teams and go ahead and open that in Stream Deck. One click, Stream Deck pops up. Let me move Teams over here so you guys can see side by side. And you'll see it's already popped up at the bottom of my list here. And let's go ahead and add a, you know, if I'm done with the meeting, I can leave, and I can also do a mute action here. Now, Teams, again, very similar to Discord, has to authenticate with Stream Deck. And so the first thing I would need to do is actually join a call, or go into the settings here, and I believe it just shows up. If I, let's see, if I tap a key, does it pop up? I think I actually might need to join a meeting first. Can I do that now? Yes, meet now. If you guys join my meeting, because you just saw the link leak, let's see, turn that off, turn that off. And now if I tap a key, it should pop up and ask me for access, and it's not doing it. It can sometimes be a little finicky. Oh, I might actually be on the wrong version of Teams. That could be it. No. Is it under general? No. Oh, missing activity. Yeah, I think I might actually be under the wrong version of Teams for this. Okay, so I think you get the idea though, right? Essentially, it's very similar to Discord, where you can then mute and unmute yourself in a call, or you can also leave a call, or you can do things like raising a hand or react, something like that. Again, incredibly simple to set up. Just make sure you have the right version of Teams, which I didn't have on here. Then, of course, there's kind of the big and obvious one, and that's OBS Studio, right? We all love it. In fact, we're using it right now to do this stream. And so I saw a question earlier, you know, how does it control OBS? Well, there's a couple different ways that you can do that. And there's lots of functionality. And let me just cover a few basic ones. So first and foremost, there's simply scene switching. Again, incredibly easy. The OBS plugin, you get it from Elgato.com or the marketplace. You can simply drag your scene action over to a key, and then you'll see right in the drop-down menu, you don't even need to do anything in OBS. It's all automatic. You don't need to enter any web server, port settings, anything like that. Stream Deck communicates with OBS instantly, and so you simply here can select which scene you want to switch to. So we'll go to full screen camera, and maybe I'll set up another scene to go to, you know, we'll do gameplay. We'll turn on 4KX again and the movement, so that way we have a game. And now I can simply tap on that key, and you'll see OBS switches between full screen camera and the gameplay scene right away. Like, there's no delay, there's no lag, nothing. What's also cool is, because Stream Deck is integrated with OBS, you can see that the icons change on the keys. So the key that's active will actually basically highlight, and the key or the scene that's off becomes a little bit darker, and that tells you right away which one's on or which one is off. You can also customize these icons. In fact, I believe, well, you can of course use your own images that you find on the web or that you make yourself, but you can also install icon packs right from our marketplace. And I think I've already got one here from a potentially known maker that's also here in chat, Abrito Art. I heard she might even show up on stream. But let's see here. So we've got, what scenes do we have? We've got gameplay. So is there a controller scene? I think there might be somewhere. Oh, you know what? We'll just use that. There we go. We've got gameplay, and then full screen camera. We'll do, do we have a camera one? Somewhere in here, I'm sure we do. Or if not, I'm going to feedback this to the maker that they need to add a camera, a little camera icon. But all right, I'm just going to do this checkbox here. There we go. So now I can switch between these two, and you'll see actually that the key, it's right. So you can see here that, well, this is actually on the off state, but I should probably set it for the on state. But essentially, I can customize these icons right through the Stream Deck software. Again, I can also just use any images I want from you know, PNGs, JPEGs. In fact, it even supports GIFs. So there's moving icon packs on Marketplace. If I go to icons here, is it, I think the Valhalla ones, these are animated. So if I go here and download these, it takes a second because, you know, this is an animated pack, so there's a little bit more there. Now if I select Stream Deck icon library, Valhalla icons, I think these rotate, or no, these ones have a little bit of fire behind them. So this one, you know, I'll just go to scene 1 here. And that just already, you know, it looks really darn cool. And then I can, you know, set another icon. So it is incredibly easy to set up keys and to customize a Stream Deck to how you want. Does that pack come in white? You know, I'm not really sure. There's a lot of icon packs in Marketplace, and also you can explore Marketplace right now on your own. You do not need to own a Stream Deck. You can go to just marketplace.elgato.com. You can click through all the plugins. It's a little bit just like an app store. You know, you can look through, you can see all the functionality. You do not need to own Stream Deck to take a look today. But so, okay, so we've set up a couple scenes and, you know, we've set up a couple different actions here. So what else can Stream Deck do? Well, there's a lot of cool stuff around organization that you can also do. So for example, let's say I have a bunch of sound effects that I want to play. Well, I might just put those in a folder. So I can right click on any key and that can become a folder. And what's really cool about that is, you know, by default, Stream Deck Plus here only has 8 keys. But if I tap on this folder, I go one level deeper and now I actually have another 7 keys. And well, what's a little bit mind-blowing is you can also create more folders within that folder, right? So I now created another 2 folders and those also have 7 keys. So suddenly you've gone from just having 8 keys available to, well, you have 8 plus 7 plus another 7 plus another 7, right? And so essentially you now have an unlimited amount of keys. And so now within here, right, I could set up all my my soundboard effects, or maybe I wanted to use the Discord ones, or maybe I've got graphics that I'm going to do in OBS, right? I could set those all up. I could give this a title like sound effects, maybe add a custom icon to that really quickly. Let's see, do we have a sound one here somewhere? There's so many icons in here. Oh man. Yeah, there we go, little speaker. Boom. And now I've got my sound effects key. You know, I can tap on that. It goes into that folder. I can select the, you know, play the sound effect I want and just go right back out. Super simple to set up. Now, let's say that I want more, just even more access to keys, but more at a top level, right? Without going into a folder. Stream Deck also has pages. And so this is, you know, again, accessible across nearly all Stream Deck products, except I think Stream Deck Pedal, because you can't really see which page you're on. But essentially you can create pages that go left and right. So if you think of a folder as like going deeper into, right, like a folder structure like on your computer, pages is more like flipping pages in a book. You go left and right. And so here I can add more pages. And so for example, I could have a page that is all of my sound effects, or I could have another page which is all of my audio control. And so, well, with the Stream Deck Plus here, I can swipe between these pages just using my finger on the touch display. Or if I have a Stream Deck with keys only, then I can also use something like a navigation here, like a next page and a previous page keys. But you'll one thing to notice is that obviously if I go to the next page, I just lost that key, right? Because those keys are only on that first page. What's really cool is Stream Deck also supports pinned actions. So if I want to keep one action across every page that I'm on, or even folder, then I can simply pin it. So I'm going to pin this action. Now check it out. If I go to these other pages, those page, you know, left and right, forward and backwards, those page actions are still on that same page. So I only have to set up the action once. I don't need to actually go into, you know, every single page and copy paste it. That's really tedious. So you can simply pin actions. And you can also pin folders, right? If I want this apps folder to be available on every page, I can simply swipe, you know, and see I still have access to it. So Stream Deck is super powerful. There's a lot you can do with it, and this is really only scraping the surface. And this is the experience that you will have across every Stream Deck device. It doesn't matter if you get Stream Deck Pedal, you're going to, you know, same drag and drop, same plugins, or if you get a Stream Deck Plus with its dials, or if you get a Stream Deck XL with 32 keys. What changes is, you know, this layout here, which basically represents your Stream Deck. But outside of that, it's the exact same experience across all devices. And it gets even more powerful. Again, I don't really want to go into it, but or maybe we have time later. But there's even multi-actions, which are, you know, essentially like macros. So you can actually do multiple things at once. So if I wanted to open a website and then, you know, open a program and maybe also, let's say, I don't know, turn off my lights, right? All of these things will now happen in order just by tapping one key. And so this is a great way that you can do things like, if you're starting a stream, you can tap one key and it opens OBS, turns on your lights, plays some intro music, and swaps to your starting soon screen. Or let's say you're leaving work, you could have a key that shuts down all your programs and turns off your computer after 30 seconds. You know, I think we had one of our creators that we work with, Big Cheese Kit. He made a multi-action that's like 300 actions long, and it was basically creating a music video by just tapping one key and doing like scene switching in OBS and bringing up effects. I mean, some really incredible stuff. Again, super simple to set up, and it just comes down to the time that you invest and the creativity that you have in setting up your Stream Deck. So yeah, that is a very, well, I don't know if that was brief, but that certainly was a surface level look at Stream Deck and all of the features and functionality that you have there. So yeah, and there's profiles, right? Thank you for mentioning that. You can have profiles that actually activate per programs. So profiles, essentially, you're almost, think of it like in a game, a save slot. That's where everything is included in. So this is like my default profile. I could set up a new one and call this, you know, maybe something like stream, right? And this is the profile that pops up when I load OBS. In fact, I can actually show it here. If I attach this to OBS, I'm going to go back to default. If I now click on OBS, watch this. Well, actually, okay, I need to close Stream Deck. But essentially, Stream Deck will then, the Stream Deck profile will then activate, or the stream profile that I set will then activate. So it can actually follow you around. If you go to Photoshop, you can make a Photoshop profile and then, you know, have it follow you into Photoshop. There is a lot of really cool stuff there. Almost Epic asks, will there be a Stream Deck Plus later with headphone port, with a headphone and line in port? Well, essentially, you can almost do that today already with the XLR dock for Stream Deck Plus. So that gives you an XLR input for something like a Wave DX and a headphone output for your headphones. And so a question for chat, for everyone out there, or maybe Brett as well, but what do you primarily, if you already have a Stream Deck, let everyone else know, what do you primarily use it for? Is it streaming? Are you doing graphic design work? Are you just copy and pasting basically text and doing text manipulation? Is it more for work, like meetings and stuff like that? What do you use your Stream Deck for? On my side, I mostly use it for kind of day-to-day things. If I'm playing games, it'll record, well, I have OBS open and it's always record. I'll use that to record my gameplay in the background using the flashback, or basically using the replay buffer feature. I've got a ping key on there, which shows me how good my latency is on my network. So it doesn't really do anything. It just constantly is pinging google.com to show me if there's any issues with my network. I can open folders to my recordings. It also shows me my CPU and GPU temp. So yeah, there's lots of different things that I'm doing with it. See here. Loopy Fist, I use mine for streaming, but as I've gotten more into video editing, I may set up a DaVinci profile. Yeah, you can absolutely set it up yourself. There's also a bunch on Marketplace if you don't want to set it up yourself. I don't even know how to say your name, Brandon, your Twitch name, Jiang, GXing, I don't know. I like to use Stream Deck to open my apps and control my lights and audio. Yep, easy. Newbie, I ordered my first Stream Deck, waiting for it to arrive, but there's so much to try. Oh, I'll try not to get overwhelmed. Oh yeah, definitely. You know, you can take it slower. You know, just see what Yep. Hello, by the way.
Hello.
And so, Brett, what do you do? What do you do with your Stream Deck?
Well, right now I use Stream Deck Plus for mostly editing and OBS. So OBS for starting and stopping recording. Because through my job, I'm doing a lot of screen recordings for, you know, generating the screen recordings for the tutorials for how to use Stream Deck or how to use Wavelink, something like that. Not so much switching scenes because I'm doing one thing at a time, but for editing, something that I really like doing is having actually dials specifically for moving things in the timeline instead of having to click on it and drag it. With this, like every tick of the dial is moving at 10 frames or something like that. So in my case, some of that stuff is because I can get really precise with Stream Deck actions instead of just clicking and dragging. I can do things very specific. And now with the Photoshop plugin for Stream Deck, which just came out, I guess, a couple months ago, That one's really great because you can do things like presets for blending modes, presets for different changes how you adjust the layer styles. So, for example, you can have a key that generates a new layer, a new adjustment layer, and you have a dial that controls the hue, saturation, or lightness of that adjustment layer for all the layers below it. You can have a key to lock your layer. So, which I'm not an artist, I don't draw, but one of the nice things with the Photoshop plugin in that instance is, if you have multiple layers, you have your like lines, colors, maybe you have multiple line layers, you can lock the layer. And also, forgot to mention, you can also use the dials. I'm pointing to the Stream Deck in front of me. You can use the dials to scroll through your layers in the list.
Yeah,
and, like even just the thumbnails for our workshop videos have been adapted over like the last 3 years. There's a lot of like technical debt in our PSD files. But with Stream Deck, I can scroll through that list easily instead of having to scroll, with a mouse wheel or something.
There's also, I think, if you set up custom actions and basically like more advanced macros, you can also fire those off with just a key. So you basically set it up in Photoshop and then you set it onto the key, and then you just press it and it does that thing.
That alone is kind of a confusing name because they're called actions in Photoshop, but we call them actions on Stream Deck. But it's an action for triggering an action. And yeah, that's, I think one of the examples we did in our video is you have a Photoshop action for like rescaling an image and then applying a custom LUT or something like that. And you could probably do that with Stream Deck directly, but the integration with Photoshop allows you to make a custom-made action macro inside of Photoshop, and then Stream Deck just says, run it now. And that's really helpful for, a great example of that is it'd be really helpful for, let's say you're independent or semi-professional photographer. You just did a photo shoot, you have a bunch of images to go through, and your client says, I want, these 15 images. You can basically have Stream Deck like do all the modifications you need to all those images in one press, using the combination with Photoshop.
Is me having an iPhone and taking pictures a semi-professional photographer?
You have the Pro or Pro Max?
I have the Pro.
Okay. Yeah, semi-professional.
Okay. Yeah.
You need the extra for full professional.
I'm seeing some exclamation point giveaways in chat here. So I don't think we've mentioned that before, but we do have a giveaway at some point of a neon light, which I don't know if we actually have one around. I don't know when that giveaway is happening. I want to say that's a little bit later in the stream. So yeah, just stay tuned. I don't have any info on when. If you miss it and you have to go, I'm sure there'll be other times when we will do giveaways for the lights. But yeah, if you do want a chance to win that, stick around. Wow, that is a long message. Let's see.
Am I reading it? Fun fact, I used OBS to play my games. Didn't have a monitor, but I had a laptop. Used a capture card to play on his laptop. His Xbox. I mean, yeah, it's not the first time. Not the first time we've heard that. And while that isn't the recommended use case, like, hey, it's getting video at pretty good low latency into your computer.
Yeah.
I know that when we were testing, I think it was 4KX when that was being released, I didn't have space for a dedicated monitor for my console on my desk, and so I would just test things in OBS directly. And every so often, I'd be like, "Oh wait, I'm playing in the OBS preview," because the latency was so low, I never even noticed.
Yeah. Give it away now. I don't know. We have to, our community team, we have Jasmine and Burrito in the background. They're going to tell us when or how the giveaway works. I don't actually know.
It's not my specialty.
Yeah. But so I hope you guys enjoyed that little Stream Deck overview. And again, if you have more questions, please feel free to ask. That's why we're here. These deals are only live. Like today's the last day for almost every deal. I think there's some very more like localized, like regional deals, but at least in the US, most of these deals are going to be done, by the end of today, Pacific time. So if you have any questions or if you've been on the fence about something, that's why we're here. Get those in. We'll try to answer those best we can, or even give you a live demo. We've got Louis in chat there, who's saying give it now. Yeah. Louis, unfortunately we can't do that right now. We'll have to,
Yeah,
later.
but yeah, if there's something that's been holding you back from making the jump, and it's as easy as finding out, does this product do this one specific thing? That's what we're here for.
Yeah. And it sounds like we have another community video queued up and ready to go. And that is going to be from Lady Vic. So Lady Vic, take it away. Let's see
For other creators. I'm Vic, aka Lady Vic. I make helpful content for other creators and keep it simple along with live streaming. Now, my favorite Elgato product is the Stream Deck Plus because it lets you do so many amazingly useful things. Did you know you can unlock Elgato's Wavelength software for full audio control with Stream Deck Plus? I use it to do a variety of things, but my favorite is launching my PC games. Check it out. Isn't that amazing?
Wow. Thank you, Lady Vic, for that Stream Deck video.
And I see you in chat. There's a shout out. So if you're not following, follow iLadyVic on Twitch. How are you, by the way? And how is everybody, by the way? Hello. I went ahead and I just dragged Phil out of here, and I said it's my turn now. She's not reading from a prompter. She is now, Jazz. Okay. She looked away for a second, but now she's back. Hello, hi Six. How's everyone doing? Is everybody getting their last minute deals from Cyber Monday? Guys, it's time to buy.
I still need to do my shopping.
You got to go shopping. Your digital shopping.
Yeah.
It's like the best because you don't have to push the shopping cart.
I need some more cardboard boxes from Amazon.
I was beginning to think I don't have enough, if I want to build my 3-story fort, I'm going to need a couple more boxes. Yes, I'm actually Phil right now, but I'm Ditto, so so it was actually me the whole time.
You're filling in.
And now I'm leaving. But yeah, I have an important announcement to make now that I'm here, and it's not about the giveaway. It's more important than that, believe it or not, which is that it's officially no dumb questions time. Every question is very good.
That's
so it's
challenge.
Time for your That's a challenge. So ask even the simplest question about any of our products. If you're thinking about, pulling the trigger on something, you want to buy one of these products on sale right now for Cyber Monday, one of these deals sounds pretty good to you, but you're still not sure exactly how it's going to fit into your setup, now's the time to ask the questions. And if you ask about Elgato Rug, there's a certain number, and if we hit that number of times that people ask for Elgato Rug, suddenly there's no giveaway today.
We will have found the dumbest question at that point?
I think so. I think that's when we can confidently say we found the dumbest question. All right. So, what's up? What's your questions? What do you want to know? I have a question for you, Brett.
Yes.
What capture card on the ones that are on sale should someone get if they want to capture right now? They want to capture maybe their Call of Duty gameplay. They're playing Black Ops 6 on controller like I have. Look, I'm an OG Xbox 360 player. I cannot play Call of Duty on mouse and keyboard. I like it, the experience on my couch with the controller. Sue me. I know chat's not going to be happy about that, but someone wants to capture their Call of Duty 6 gameplay on PlayStation 5 or on Xbox Series X. Which capture card should they get?
I'd say, well, if you want to capture that at the full 4K 60, 4KX would do a pretty good job. I mean, all the capture cards we have on sale, minus the older Big Brother video capture. But I think 4KX would be a great option there because it can do 4K 30 HDR, 4K 60, capture it in OBS or 4K Caps utility. It can pass through 4K 120 hertz HDR. So if you have a really sick TV that you can play the game at 4K 120 hertz. Is sick no longer.
I have a really rad TV, and Phil's already looking at me because I'm gonna say my TV is bigger than Phil's. Yeah. In case anyone was wondering.
Should we reinforce that?
Somebody asked about capturing from PS5 Pro. Is that the same in that case?
Well, I haven't played Call of Duty on PS5. Does that do 120 hertz? Multiplayer? So yeah, if you're playing that at 4K 120 hertz on regular PS5, then
yeah. And then somebody's asking about internal or external card. I think that really depends on exactly what you're looking for in your setup. I'm all about external capture card because my setup's very dynamic. I like, changing things around a lot. If you like having things set, and there's a certain level of like quality or pass through or capture you're looking for, then internal may be the move. But
The 4K Pro, the internal card that we have on sale, that one does support 8K 60 inputs, which, to be fair, is a little bit niche these days. But I'm told PS5 Pro, there's a possibility there, but I think it's even niche there. So with with 4K Pro, you have that 8K 60 pass through possibility, and in that case, it's capturing at 4K. You can also do, like, if you're on a PC or you're doing like a dual PC setup, 4K Pro allows you to capture or pass through 4K 240, 1440p 240. 4K Pro just has like that. The upper limit on its pass through is higher.
Yeah.
I can't really come up with a fancier word than that. But if you're playing on console, then yeah, I mean, really any of them work. But if you want to play at 4K 120, then you need to choose 4KX or 4K Pro.
Nice. I think the term you're looking for is more bigger. It can capture more bigger. That's
Absolutely.
the technical
Just
term.
like your TV.
Just like my TV,
Compared
which
to
is
Phil's.
more bigger than Phil's. Which is not a competition, but if it was, I would win. Anyways, Space Age Mermaid asks, where can I find really easy, really simple instructions for setting up a Stream Deck? Like, imagine somebody's never laid eyes on one. Where can I look? Brett, I think you have probably a great answer to that question. That's not biased at all.
Possibly. So we do have quite a lot of content on a YouTube channel called Elgato Workshop, which you might hear a familiar voice on that channel. But we have a series that we're expanding over time called Stream Deck 101. And that is just about one specific feature. So it could be, hey, maybe you have a lot of actions. You want to put them somewhere. That's what folders are for. Here's everything about folders. Here's everything about pages. Here's everything about multi-actions. And we make it about one specific topic that, you don't. Maybe some people would learn this way by having like a 30-minute video going about every little detail, but we're trying to focus on one little thing. But the video is about Stream Deck Neo, but we have a great introduction to Stream Deck in general with our Getting Started with Stream Deck Neo video. And that's just like, this is aimed at someone who's never used a Stream Deck before, which is really what Stream Deck Neo kind of is about. It's someone's first Stream Deck. That one has a lot of great information about some examples of using hotkeys and changing profiles and the basics of like what Stream Deck can do for you in like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's really what it's all about.
And then I also want to say Stream Deck will grow as you grow your understanding of Stream Deck, right? So your Stream Deck that you set up on day one is probably going to be very different than the Stream Deck that you can set up like a year later. You'll get a greater understanding of, all these more complicated things like smart profiles and stuff like that, which are also still very easy to set up as you keep, working on your Stream Deck setup. Channel asks, I'm looking to live stream our YouTube from YouTube, our sports match, real world, not gaming. First of all, that's very cool. Is this suitable for this total novice? Yeah, I'd say, if you're looking to switch between different camera angles, like let's say you're doing a baseball game, you want, maybe the camera that's on the batter, maybe you want, an outfield camera, you can absolutely use something like Stream Deck to fine tune that control, to mute, to switch to be right back. You can even, and this is really cool, control a scoreboard on your OBS that you are, you press a key on Stream Deck and boom, it'll automatically add maybe one out, maybe one, strike. And maybe when you want to totally reset things, if you press and hold that key, it'll automatically bring that down to a different value that you want.
How does one do that?
How does one do that? You can do that with the Stream Counter plugin from BarRaider on Stream Deck, and it's really easy to set up. I've actually used it all the time.
From Marketplace.
From Marketplace, yeah. So I've used that all the time for charity streams where I have like a certain number of things to count up to, like the day that I did over 1,000 squats for St. Jude. That was a lot. And
I heard about that, yeah.
I also added a sound effect. So every time that I pressed the key and it added another squat, it went bop. So anyways, that's the answer to that question. Also, I see some controller fans from when I mentioned that earlier, so shout out to controller fans. Let's move to some later questions. Your TV is the GOAT. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate that. Frisco's, nice to see you here. Hello. How many Stream Decks is too many? That's not a dumb question at all. I don't think we found the limit.
No, you can have a lot connected to one computer.
Yeah.
And it's, how much desk space do you have?
Zyke asks how powerful of a computer do you need for? And then you didn't finish your question, but based on what we were talking about at that point, pretty sure you're talking about one of our capture cards.
Yeah,
So
I was thinking for
yeah.
Diamond because that was like the next icon there. So I mean, if we talk about for running
through a capture card.
um
I guess a good thing about a capture card if you're gaming on console is the weight of the game on your computer. I can't think of the what is the word I'm looking for?
The actual gaming part is taken care of by the console.
Yes.
Yeah. So in that case, when it comes to the system requirements or how powerful of a computer you need for a capture card, you don't have to have that insane powerful of a computer. But it's more like you need a GPU that has some more modern features. So you don't necessarily need a really powerful computer, but looking for a computer that has, say, a 20 series NVIDIA GPU, so like a 2060, 2070, something like that. A modern CPU, 8 cores, is really just about what you need. And with a more modern graphics card, a lot of the work for streaming, encoding, processing with OBS Studio is handled by the GPU itself. So yeah, unlike the old days, 15 years ago or something with streaming, you don't need a top of the line computer to stream, or use, say, an HD60X or 4KX. But something that's at least newer, even if it's not top of the line. But also, like if you have a MacBook Pro with the M1, M2, those are really powerful systems that have a lot of cool technology that, like, you can stream right off battery. They're so efficient and perfect for 4KX or HD60X because they are cross-platform. Plug a 4KX right into your MacBook Pro, capture or stream 4K.
It's that easy. I wish it would go like that. Like that was easy. Like every time you plugged it in, just that was easy. Speaking of capture cards, 4KX in the US is up to 20% off right now. So if you're looking for an external capture card that can capture probably much higher than you'll ever need to capture, super future-proofed, 4KX and 4K Pro are both up to 20% off depending on your region, which for 4KX is $189.99, which is a little bit silly cheap for a capture card that good, right? That's a great deal. On HD60X, if maybe you're capturing something like Nintendo Switch or, maybe like Xbox Series S, HD60X still, really, really great capture card. It's actually the capture card I use. I haven't needed to upgrade to 4KX yet. So I'm still on HD60X, and that's up to 25% off depending on your region. So that's $139.99. So exclamation point deals in the chat, and if you've been wanting a capture card, it's time. Give me side camera real quick, Chris. I need to speak right into their souls. Okay, this one's to your souls. If it's time for the capture card and you want to capture your consoles, you want to do that crazy 2 PC setup that, not gonna lie, I don't think I personally understand yet, but I'm glad you do. Time to buy 4KX, 4K Pro, or HD60X. All right. I'm glad we discussed that. I'm glad we had that conversation. That was a very important conversation. Did I speak to your souls?
That's your one-on-one.
That's my one-on-one. I need to do a thing where I just go on Discord and only one person can join me at a time, and I just sell to them for an hour. What product do you want, guys?
You have 30 seconds.
It's time to buy.
Everyone.
The deals are almost over. These are our biggest deals of the year. Okay.
It's your last chance.
Yeah, you're running out of time. It's 1:37 p.m. PT in California. All right. So depending on when you are, it might end even sooner. That's all I'm gonna say. I already bought. I'm glad to hear that, Junior. I hope you love your product. And if you have any, what is this Zoom? Hey, you. Come on, give me. Hey, you. I don't know why we need this camera angle, but we have it. Buy your next capture card. You want it here. Come here. You want it. All right, now get away from me. All right, Vic, have a great meeting. All right, other questions you have can be about anything. Doesn't only need to be about capture cards. You should ask me a question, Brett. Test my knowledge.
Okay. What do you use your Stream Deck
for
on your day-to-day?
Yeah, my favorite thing to use Stream Deck for is what I've used it for since day one, which is OBS control. I cannot stream without my Stream Deck. I've been using a 15 key Stream Deck, originally the Mark 1, now the Mark 2, since all the way back in the beginning of 2017, and I started streaming in 2016. So
Yes.
the very many years at this point, I'm kind of like a streaming grandma that I've been streaming. I cannot stream without my exact Stream Deck 15 key profile. I know where everything
It's like
is.
muscle memory.
It's the back button, it's the starting button, it's the be right back button, it's the main button, it's the zoom button, it's the zoom ×2 button, it's the internal screaming button, it's my desktop mute, it's my desktop audio and my mic audio that I can mute and unmute. And I have a visual on my Stream Deck. I use the states and with my icon pack that I made. Pesto productivity,
The
by
one
the
that
way.
needs a camera.
The one that has a face cam, you know, he just didn't use that one. He just wanted us camera, which, you know, valid. I can
But it
have
has an Among Us.
that. And
As
shout
we
out to
saw.
Chris Luna for that camera angle. So yeah, I love using Stream Deck for my OBS controls.
Do you still
Yeah.
use the 15 key?
I still use 15 key. I mean, I love Stream Deck Plus. I'm so 15 key brained
Mhm.
that I can do everything on my 15 keys. Which, you know what, valid. If you want dials, I totally understand that. There's a lot of things the dials can do that maybe I'm pressing a key multiple times for, and you know, it might be more efficient with a dial. But that's why we have multiple options. Yeah.
Yeah, I use
Mhm.
dials more than anything. And so Stream Deck Plus by itself is really plenty for me on my desk. I do have a Stream Deck. I mean, I have plenty of Stream Decks for like
Oh yeah.
filming for video.
I'm sure you have many Stream Decks.
I have like 4 XLs total.
That's
Um,
wild.
But it's mostly for video purposes. But yeah, I'll have a Stream Deck XL for testing and, you know, a 15 key as well. But my daily is on the Stream Deck Plus just because I don't use keys all that much. But
Mhm.
for OBS, for audio, for zooming in on video, and action trigger and action wheel, I use those all the time on Stream Deck Plus. So
Yeah.
it does everything I need in one package.
All right, channel asks for follow-up on the sports streams from YouTube question. Which capture card do I need to run one camera from laptop? So we're not running a deal on that, but Camlink is a great
Yeah.
option. If
Only
you,
4K.
yeah, if you want a future-proof though, Camlink Pro might still be available depending on your region, and that will let you connect 4 cameras. But that is, you know, an end-of-life product. The chipset is no longer being made, so
It-
what's on sale is on sale.
It was end of life and then it rose from the dead.
Yeah.
and
We like bought the last like chips, and we're like,
Mhm.
come on, we can make a couple more, guys.
So we might still have some available
Yeah.
on the side.
I love Camlink Pro personally.
Someone did ask about cameras. Specifically, is
Mhm.
Facecam Pro compatible with Windows 11?
Mhm.
And yes, I think we pretty much, besides the Macs, we basically all use Windows 11, and we use all of our products on Windows 11 as a general rule. So we, unless it's like a beta version of an operating system, we're typically using some of the latest versions of the operating system.
All right, Luna, I have the Stream Deck Plus on my wish list. Friends have shown it off so well. I'm sold. And I actually just scrolled up on Stream Deck Plus to see that message. So that's pretty full circle.
Yeah, we have one right in front
Pretty
of us.
pretty full dial.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? Can we make that a thing?
Is that another exclamation point
Yeah, that's another one.
command?
I think it's really punchy. You know, rowdy ass.
But that command is only if Phil says it, right?
Yeah, I know.
Does
So you
that count?
can do. I think
Phil,
they'll
can
probably
you say
count it.
punchy?
Remember, I'm
right.
Phil. I'm Ditto.
Someone
right?
type it in.
Is it possible to have the Elgato HD60 Pro and the Elgato 4K in the same motherboard? I'm assuming you mean 4K Pro there.
It depends on the motherboard, but absolutely. HD60 Pro is a 1X slot, so it's the smallest PCI Express slot available. And then 4K Pro is a 4X, so it's a little bit larger. Unless you're using a small motherboard that has only limited PCI Express slots, it's certainly possible to have both installed. That is a question, though, that you could probably ask in our community Discord for some more feedback, or you can reach out to our support team. We can walk you through that.
Awesome. I see someone did do the punchy command.
Full dial.
Yuli says, I'm on 2 15-key Stream Decks, Mark 1s. One is the soundboard and clock. The other is for scene, record, mute, emo only control. So useful. I'm so glad that Stream Deck is useful for you. And yeah, there's the Twitch plugin too. So if any of you guys are streaming on Twitch, you can go on shield mode. You can, put emo only mode on. Those really quick actions are very helpful for maybe your mods aren't around and something's going on and you need to just really quickly,
Mm-hmm.
get a handle on your chat. That's just something that I don't think people realize right off the bat if they've never seen Stream Deck.
You can also send
plugins.
pre-made chat commands through it. So if you have a exclamation point punchy action, send that into your chat. Yeah, sub only, emote only.
Yeah, no worries, Rowdy. I got you.
Also change your tile and category right from Stream Deck. So if you have like a usual
That's
rotation
cool. Yeah.
Of games or categories that you stream on Twitch, you could actually do it as a multi-action. Change one that's changing to, I don't know, to Fortnite, and then your tile is always the same. You can always have those pre-made, so you're not like manually typing that in to your dashboard every time.
Yep. Awesome. All right. I'm scrolling here. If you have a mirrorless camera and a prompter and you want to use a desktop tripod, do you want to put the camera on the tripod or the basic prompter on the tripod? Definitely the camera.
Yes.
The camera and then prompter will be, mounted on to the lens of your camera.
That is the preferred way for a mirrorless camera or DSLR, that type of form factor. It's definitely the ideal way to put the camera on the mount, and then you attach a prompter to the camera. If for whatever reason that doesn't work out, then you can of course use the universal shroud. For this little cloth shroud there, you can use this with your camera, and in that case, the camera would be mounted to prompter, and the prompter would be on your mount, whatever it is. But you doing it that way, the camera can't be too big if it's going to be mounted to the prompter, because you do have to worry about balance of your mount as well. So it just depends. Of course, if you have any further questions or if pictures of how it's set up, you could send that to our support team or post that in the Discord, and one of our community can help you with that.
Absolutely, yeah. And I saw somebody on Nomad say, I'm excited to buy myself a Stream Deck Plus because I've been using the app on my phone and I love it for when I stream. So that's a great segue into mentioning Stream Deck Mobile, which recently was updated for Android to have all the features, or almost all the features, as the iOS app got last year. So if you're looking to try Stream Deck, you still have time to buy it on sale for Cyber Monday deals now. And if you were looking for example, last stream we did, Stream Deck Mark II in black wasn't on sale yet, but it is now. So if you're looking to get that or any other Stream Deck that's on sale right now, I really recommend trying Stream Deck Mobile because you get 6 Stream Deck keys for free.
Yes.
Look,
install the app and you're ready to go.
You can have a Stream Deck right now if you have an iOS or Android device that's compatible with Stream Deck Mobile, which is a lot of them. You can have a Stream Deck. You can set it up right now. You can try all these things. You can see what it's like to have a Stream Deck. And then if you decide you want that tactile control with the buttons, you decide you love it, which I know you will, then you can go ahead and grab those on sale today. So, I mean, I would just really recommend trying it today because it's a free, 6 keys forever. It's not like it's a limited trial. There's, you can always, delete it once you get your Stream Deck if you don't like having that many apps on your phone like I do. But yeah, just try it out and try the 6 keys. You might actually love Stream Deck Mobile itself because it is very convenient to customize the layout. You can choose how many rows of keys you want if you do upgrade to the Pro version, which there's a one-time fee option available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with if you do decide to upgrade for that, it's up to 64 keys. Mm-hmm. So it's twice as big as our largest Stream Deck.
Yeah.
I do want to say though, like you can think of it this way: Stream Deck Mobile, it's like a Stream Deck Mini on sale for $0.
Guys, crazy deal just dropped for Cyber Monday. Stream Deck Mini on your phone for free, 100% off.
$0
on your phone. Just try Stream Deck Mobile. I did say somebody mentioned how much it costs. Yeah, like we said, 6 keys for free. There's no catch. I can't emphasize that enough. You get the 6 keys, the little 6 keys right there. You can set it up right now. In fact, somebody set it up and come back and tell me how it went. I will buy multiple phones. That might cost more than buying a Stream Deck. But you do also get it wireless too. So that's something pretty cool is, I mean, all of our Stream Decks are wired. Mm-hmm. But if you have a Stream Deck already and you sometimes want to do something like me where I'm, stepping away, doing a charity incentive and I need to control my Stream Deck Mobile, set up those 6 keys for free.
It connects over your network, over Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm. Right to your computer.
Yeah. Very super convenient. I also use when I was moving and I didn't have a Stream Deck, I used my phone as my Stream Deck. I still needed the functionality. for editing, for using OBS and stuff like that. So I can also kind of keep it off to the side.
Portable Stream Deck. Bring it with your laptop. Wow.
And so the 15 key, the Stream Deck Mark II, white and black, are $119.
Oh yeah. It's time to shop Stream Deck. Up to, depending on your region, sometimes more than 20% off, but let's just say for the US, it is up to 20% off. You can get Stream Deck Mark II in white for $199.99. Sorry, $119. Oh my god. I rose the price. It's $119, not $99. $119.99. I'm saying too many numbers. And then Stream Deck Plus for $169. Nice.
You'll say it over
$99. And then you can also get Stream Deck Mark II Black for also $119.99. Oh my god, I should have just said this for both. I didn't scroll. I'm so silly. Stream Deck Plus in black is also $169.99. And this is where you say nice. And then Stream Deck XL, which I know because we have gone through multiple like sales cycles in the past couple of years. You ask for Stream Deck XL sales. It's on sale. You wanted Stream Deck XL sale. I literally
XL sale.
Yeah, it's hard. Try saying that 10 times fast. I literally told them, I'm like, the people want Stream Deck XL on sale. And I'm pretty sure that I literally made this happen. So thank me, all right, when you buy it and get it on sale. Thank me. I did all of it. It's all me. Nobody else did anything there. Definitely not like a lot of people who work really hard to get all these things figured out. All me this time. All me, baby. But I'm kidding. Shout out to our team for getting Stream Deck XL not only on sale, but up to 25% off for $189.99. I think that's the first time I've personally ever seen Stream Deck XL for less than $200. That's a steal. You're stealing from us if you buy that, actually.
But
so don't buy it, but buy it. You know what I mean? And then Stream Deck Pedal, also super cheap, $60. 35% off. That's silly, Brett. I love Stream Deck Pedal. I love Stream Deck Pedal. 3 keys under your desk for your feet to control. You can, you can control, your scenes without even having to touch a Stream Deck.
Yeah.
You just, nobody sees anything. They don't know. They don't know what I'm not going to say that. I'm done with that sentence. Let's keep going to different conversations.
Okay. Yeah, Stream Deck Pedal is
I'm being silly today.
Is really convenient because you can, if you're playing a game, and I think one of the oh yeah.
Yeah, and we have one right here to show you what it does. Here, you talk, I'll demo.
I'd love to. So with Stream Deck Pedal, an example that was given earlier in the stream was if you're playing a game that has like leaning, like Tarkov, you can have the left and right buttons lean your character as you're playing with your mouse and keyboard. And the middle one would be, I don't know, inventory. I don't play Tarkov. But it does just about everything a Stream Deck can do.
You know what the middle one should be, Brett?
Yes.
Pat, do you know what I'm going to say? Phil, do you know what I'm going to say? The middle one should be a fart sound effect. So you can lean. In Tarkov, you can lean and go...
You're still in frame. Oh my god. There was particles.
I'm just here for the vibes, guys. I'm here to sell Stream Deck pedals and have a good time.
I think you sold a couple.
And I'm here to sell Stream Deck Mark II Atomic Purple and have a good time, and I'm all out of Stream Deck Mark II Atomic Purple because it's sold out in the US.
Rolls off the tongue.
See, they like the farts. I knew nobody in this room would, but I know you would. And I'm not talking to them, I'm talking to you.
Of course they do.
Talking to you. You didn't do the transition, I'm talking to you. Can we bring Phil back? Come on. That's crazy.
Do we have a...
So where's shoulder buttons at? So actually, not shoulder, but I have heard of someone mounting Stream Deck Pedal on the bottom of their desk and using their knees to control it. This is, also an accessibility thing, different way to control, and also for cooking streams, because they can't have stuff on the floor. I've seen it for cooking streams, right under the table. You can be, displaying something and then just go pop, and then boom, you can cut to like a top angle and, showcase your delicious meal that you cooked.
And also an idea, I think I maybe did this a years ago when I was doing like a repair stream. I was fixing some electronics, and I had gloves on as I was working on it, and I used the Stream Deck to switch scenes like that. So it doesn't you could be at a desk, but if your hands are busy with something else, you know, if you have tools in your hands or something like that, then
Yeah.
Stream
Or
Deck
if
Pedal is perfect for that.
you're playing Valorant and my hands are busy getting these subs, you know?
Victory
Who is the
Royale.
drummer that thought of the pedal for the Stream Deck? That's a, you know, I wonder if there's a drummer in Elgato that was like, let's make that a thing.
Didn't I thought we had a pedal like 15 years ago, but it was just a single action pedal or something. I think it was before the gaming brand actually. But so it was probably like some DNA in the company that.
So if you buy a Stream Deck pedal, you get company DNA. Let's ask your questions in chat. See if you give me more questions, I'll be less silly. So it's kind of like a win for you, and also probably a win for me.
I don't know if I'm totally into this chemistry going on.
You want Phil back? I'm getting you questions. Android version of Epoch Cam 1. We can't speak on any other products or unreleased or potential or anything like that for this stream. So the questions that we're answering and fielding right now are related to the products, especially if they're on sale right now for Cyber Monday. See, ladies, we're the best combo with jokes and awkward. So I guess you're the awkward, I'm the jokes.
Well, in that case, I can leave.
No.
If you want me to.
LP might. Oh, are you leaving?
In fact, I think I'm being swapped out.
No.
You'll have a new guest to.
We should do a poll. Should Brett stay?
To be mean to.
Be mean to.
Yes.
We're being nice. We're having fun. I asked you a question. LP mic arm accessories. Not all mics can mount out of the box. Apparently, it can really support a wide range of mics right out of the box. It has quite a few adapters. You can check out our website and see what's in the box, and you can see those adapters.
Yeah, so it can the mic arms can be used with microphones that have 1/4 20, 3/8, or 5/8 mounts.
Hog.
Yeah. Do we want to? Yes, community video that we can go on.
Which one we got? We got plenty. Which one we showing, Chris? All right, Cozy Mel. We're going to showcase a video from Cozy Mel. And if you were on here on our Prime Day streams, this video might seem familiar. And it's back for round 2, baby. Run it.
I'm Cozy Mel, and I'm a cozy content creator on Twitch and TikTok. My favorite Elgato product is my Stream Deck XL because it single-handedly made my flow for streaming so much easier. I have ADHD, and I used to often forget a bunch of things before stream, but my Stream Deck has helped me automate most of them. This one button here, Start Stream, is set up to automate 12 actions I would have normally had to remember myself. It even opens up a text file with reminders like, make a coffee. I couldn't go without it anymore. Besides this magic button, I can post links to my Discord server and socials to chat, and I can even switch scenes or start ads straight from my Stream Deck without having to go into my Twitch dashboard or into OBS. My Stream Deck XL has made my streaming life more efficient and optimized in ways that I never imagined before getting it.
All right.
Hello.
It's Brett.
I'm Brett.
Brett's still here. We got Brett here. I use a pedal for push to talk Discord chat while playing, so I'm not constantly yapping over co-streamers. That's very smart. Love to hear it. Is there a backplate for prompter to use with Facecam, not the Pro? There's a 3D printing file available on Elgato Marketplace so that you can 3D print your backplate for Elgato Facecam.
Oh, we're controlling chat with the Stream Deck.
Oh yeah, scroll
There we
right
go.
there. Look at that.
Hello. I am Sean. Hello, I'm the video content intern at Elgato. So I make some short form content. And we're going to be talking about, or did we do a segue? Did we do segues?
Not yet. We haven't. Said
Hello,
it
we're
yet.
segueing now to my
Segue.
favorite genre of equipment here. Cameras. Yay, everybody clap your
Yay,
hands.
cameras. So yeah, we're going to talk about Facecam Mark II, which is on sale right now. We're going to talk about Prompter, which is on sale, but also has some really good bundle options available. And then we're also going to talk about Camera Hub, which is the way to control it all. And then we're also going to demo Camera Hub as well.
Also, Facecam Mark II.
I said Facecam Mark II,
Oh,
but
you said
yes, Facecam Mark II.
Oh.
×2. That's how much we're gonna talk about it.
My bad.
That's ×2. And then we're also gonna start that giveaway soon, so stick around. It'll be, you know, within this segment that we'll start running that giveaway, which will end at the end of the stream. Which is unfortunately the stream will end eventually, but not yet. We're still going. So yeah.
All right. So I want to talk about Facecam Mark II first.
Yeah, we got one right there on that desk stand, wave desk stand right there. Yep.
That's a Mark 1.
Oh, that's a Mark 1? All right. Well, we got one at the setup, so should we go over to the setup and showcase it real quick?
Yeah, do you want to do that?
Yeah, I got you.
I can help out. I think my mic will be on, right?
Your mic will be muted.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
if you have any questions.
All right, so what we're going to showcase now is Facecam Mark II and Prompter. So let me go ahead and get Camera Hub open here. So the cool thing about Camera Hub is that you Facecam Mark II and Prompter. So let me go ahead and get Camera Hub opened here. So the cool thing about Camera Hub is that you have your control for not only your Elgato cameras, but also Prompter all within one app. So right now we're running, you know, the Elgato Twitch chat on here, and then we can switch over and show you Facecam Mark II. So capture device, add it, and we're gonna add Facecam Mark II. Or actually, sorry, it's with the other instance of OBS, right? I got you. There we go. Here it is. Okay, let me turn off the prompter display. Perfect. So this is Facecam Mark II right here. You can see our setup behind us. Say hi, Sean.
Hello.
There's Sean. All right, so what I'm going to show you now is the different ways that you can control your Facecam Mark II within Camera Hub. And in the meantime, Sean will be waving at you the entire time. This is a challenge. All right, so first you can obviously control like PTZ, which is like pan, tilt, zoom. Oh, there's Jasmine, hello. You can zoom in, right? So I can zoom into Jasmine. I think we need to see her a little bit closer. She doesn't want to be zoomed into. There's Chris. Or no, that's Brett. Oh my God, sorry. It's just usually Chris is wearing plaid. We can't have two people wearing plaid in the office, actually. All right, so you can zoom and, you know, control like that, you know, pan, tilt, zoom controls with Facecam Mark II, which if you've seen Facecam Pro is also, this feature is also on Facecam Mark II. You can also create presets, right? So right now, this is, you know, zoomed all the way out. Maybe I want B to be all the way zoomed into my face. I love doing those dramatic zooms. Some of you guys may also do this on your stream. You love those big old zooms. You can set these presets, and with Stream Deck, you can click between them, and you can go ahead and switch. So the way you want to do that is you zoom in wherever you want it, and then you're going to press and hold on that letter. And boom, once you see that download icon, now your preset is saved and you can switch between the two. I can be like talking to you, and then I could be like, this is why you should buy Facecam Mark II. And back to normal. You can also control, you know, like almost like a DSLR level of control, which is contrast, saturation, sharpness, exposure, which is really cool. You can control your ISO and shutter speed. So right now, let me go ahead and just fine tune my settings here. I'm going to maybe bump the saturation a little bit, bring some color back into my face. Maybe I want to make it a little bit sharper. Let's see what automatic exposure looks like right now, and then we can maybe bump up the brightness a bit to kind of, you know, compensate a little bit for the lighting, and boom, there we go. I quite like this lighting. I think it has a nice contrast. I've got good light on my face. I'm, you know, brighter than the background. I think that's pretty nice. You can also change between different metering options. So that's like average, center weighted, spot. So right now we'll probably just stick with center weighted. You can also turn on dynamic range from standard to high. So if I switch that back to standard, I'll have, you know, I'll be able to, you know, control like my lighting a little bit differently than I have if I had dynamic range on. High dynamic range is great on Facecam Mark II if you have like a bright window behind you, or you have like a lot of different levels of light in your camera. You really want to try to even it out. That's a really great option. You'll see when I turn that on, you see a lot of detail in those lights, and you don't really lose, you know, the whites in the wall and stuff like that. I'm more balanced overall. So that's really, really great when you have something like, for example, you know, a bright window behind you that you want to go ahead and try to even out. For right now, I'll leave it to standard. I like the lighting on my face here. And then let me go ahead. I want to scroll down all the way to chat. So let me go ahead and go here. I'll just reset. All right, now I'm all the way back fresh on chat. So if you have questions about Camera Hub while I'm demoing, feel free to throw them in. I'll see them now. So then we have white balance as well. I like this because I love warm lighting. So I will always, you know, nudge that closer to warm. I'm all about warm lighting. I love when my camera looks nice and warm. But if you like cold lighting, you can also nudge that to a colder temperature. It's got a really wide range, so you can, really work with that and make it work with also your lighting in your room, and try to match, the kelvins between your lighting and your camera. Awesome. All right. Is there a way to select every Stream Deck action and transfer it automatically to a different Stream Deck? Yeah, you can save profiles. Let me actually show you that real quick. Not a camera hub question, but I can show you real quick. If you go into your settings, you can go ahead and, save your profiles. So for example, this profile we're using right now, this default profile, if I wanted to save it, all I would have to do is just export and then create a file name. Hi, Sean. You want to come over here too? You can join. We can both be here. What side are you coming? Oh, there you are.
Hello.
All right, Sean's here too. Okay, so yeah, so you can go ahead and save that wherever you want on your PC, and you can not only have the file, but you can also share it. So you can send it around if you want to send it to somebody who, may just bought a Stream Deck and you want to show them what your profile's like. Also, with the latest version of Stream Deck, you can also share actions, which is really cool. So if I want to be like, hey, Sean, I have this awesome show desktop action. Let me go ahead and share that to you. I can export it to you. Then you'd go to your Stream Deck and import it onto your Stream Deck. That easy. All right. And then on Camera Hub, you can also control the processing, right? So you can put noise reduction higher or lower, depending on your setup. You probably got great lighting in your setup, but sometimes my setup, it gets really late at night and I just like to be, with a blanket in the darkness playing horror games. So I might turn my noise reduction to high when I'm in like a darker environment, or if I'm trying to, stream games like very late at night. I will say though, Facecam Mark II has really, really great low light capability. So unlike other webcams, you're not going to get hit with that huge wave of like noise.
Yeah. And that is because this camera actually has a 2.4 aperture, which lets in a lot of light basically. And for a 1080p webcam, if you read the spec 1080p 60 FPS, you might think a lot of webcams can do that, but you guys don't really, unless you know a lot more about cameras, you wouldn't consider that it has a 2.4 aperture, which basically just means that the lens itself is bigger, or not the lens, but the amount of light that enters the camera is a lot more light. So you're going to get a lot better noise, or a lot less noise, and that just helps the overall image. And then I think this camera is really cool for its price. You're getting not even automatic and manual exposure settings, but you're also getting, like you mentioned, metering settings. So you get to control where on the image you are getting your exposure from. So if you do, like we mentioned earlier, metering average, center weighted, and spot, this is like pretty advanced stuff, but it makes it really simple. So average is like overall the image exposure. So we have lights over here and we have my face here. The entire image is going to be average exposure. But let's say I want my face more exposed. We can select, turn off automatic. There we go. Oh wait, actually, it's the automatic setting. So center weighted is going to focus mostly on the center of the frame where your face is most likely going to be, and then the spot is directly where we place. It's going to be more center weighted, I think, like a square. These are settings that you would find on a DSLR camera, but to have them on a webcam is pretty special, because I've used other webcams in the past and they never have this advanced level of software. And yeah, so I do personally like settings in or manual, because I do my own because I use cameras. I like all my settings in manual. I'm sure if you guys have ever tried photography or anything like that, I personally like my settings in manual. So I can see I can lower the ISO or raise it, and overall I can just make it look however I want. And I like that a lot with the exposure settings, because I feel like with webcams overall, the exposure is like the most important thing, or in cameras in general. Yeah. And then I liked your mentioning the automatic zoom in. I think it's really good. And for 1080p, this is really sharp, and you can even increase the sharpness. But the fact that I'm getting this level of clarity for a 1080p webcam is like really clean. And I love doing punch-ins. For when I used to stream, I would do these the dramatic punch-ins, as you mentioned earlier. Yes. I really like that. So
I love doing the zoom-ins. And then when you're talking about like other webcams too, something that makes Facecam Mark II and our other webcams really special is that we didn't want you to lose, you know, your webcam settings when you maybe restart your computer, or maybe you're plugging it into a different computer, but you're in the same setup. You can save these settings onto the hardware of Facecam Mark II. So if I click right here, save, boom. Now, next time I disconnect this Facecam Mark II, maybe I hand it to Sean and he wants to connect it here to his laptop. He'll have the same settings as I did. And then you can go ahead and, you know, confidently move your camera between different setups. Or maybe if you're bringing on the go to like a cafe or something, you can have the settings, you know, just how you like them. And whenever you want to change them, you can always open Camera Hub back up, and you can change them. Yeah. And there's also anti-flicker, so if you've got some stubborn, you know, LED lights behind you that are flickering, you can always switch between 50 and 60, and I've found that sometimes one or the other is able to get rid of the flickering of, you know, maybe my hue lights in the background when they're on certain color settings and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty cool. One of the best features of all Elgato webcams, I agree, Heavy. Having that download settings and saving your settings to hardware is really cool.
Yeah, I have a lot of experience with different webcams as someone that just likes cameras in general, and a lot of them do not have the option to save your settings. So every time I plug in a different, like not an Elgato webcam, it's always like my settings get reset, and that's just frustrating. So hello. Okay. Yeah, super happy that this, like the fact that you, because it's one thing to have like an autosave feature, but to also know that you can manually save it, it just gives you like, you don't have to worry about that your settings are being saved. It's just, or I like knowing that I'm manually saving it. So whatever I've set this time will be there the next time I open up my camera.
Mm-hmm. And the last thing you want to do is have to, you know, refind, if you know you're like me and it takes you a little bit longer than Sean because he's like a photographer, to set your shutter speed and ISO, and you really want to lock that in. Saving to hardware will be really helpful for you. Then there's also some additional things that I won't showcase right now, but there's also face tracking if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, where if you want to zoom in a little bit, walk around, it'll track your face. There's also other effects like AI background with NVIDIA graphics cards. You know, there's AR effects with eye contact. So if you don't have a prompter, you could be like looking over here and you're making eye contact the whole time. You can also flip as well. So if you were not going to see this previewed on OBS, but you would see it on Camera Hub. For example, if you're doing a top-down camera and your camera is outputting upside down, you can flip it within Camera Hub so that your output is correct. And then the other thing with Camera Hub is prompter control. I guess we can switch to prompter, which is also on sale. I saw somebody asking, oh, we're getting a raid. Thank you so much, Lemon, for the raid. Welcome on in. Hope you had a wonderful stream. If you guys are new here, make sure to check out !deals to see all the deals that we have running for Cyber Monday. We've got a lot of deals that are still available, but they're ending very soon. Check them out. And how was your stream, Lemonaded? I hope it was great. Thank you so much for the raid. But yeah, we're using Prompter right now to read the chat. That's how we saw that raid. So let's switch over to Prompter, which is also on sale for Cyber Monday. Do you want to switch between some of these settings real quick? Kind of toggle in Prompter how you like it?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Can we open up?
Yeah, switch over. Yeah. Whee.
Hello, chat. Hello, everybody. Welcome in, Raiders. We're going to open up Camera Hub here. Oh, and we're going to go, yeah, Prompter. Okay, so we have Prompter here, and can we get a, oh, this happened. Can we get a close-up of Prompter from the preview? And I'm going to, oh yeah, forgot about that. Yeah, so you guys want to take a look at the prompter, physical prompter here at my desk. So right now it's just kind of the, I think it's like pretty default. You can see all the text from chat right now. So right now it's just kind of the, I think it's like pretty default. You can see all the text from chat right now. If you guys can read chat yourself, say hello, so you can appear on the stream. But what I do when I'm using Prompter, because I actually use Prompter to record a lot of short form videos for Elgato, I typically like raising my font size so I can read it very easily. There's everyone in chat. So with Prompter, you guys can change the font size. You can adjust the horizontal margins and the vertical margins. Oh, here we go. Let me have to lower it, and then, oh, so this just raises and lowers it So basically, you can adjust where you're seeing the text. So when you're reading your scripts, and I don't have chat open right now, but usually I'm using it to read my own scripts. You have a lot of adjustments available, so you can, read. If it's a lot of text, sometimes I make the font smaller, but if it's a short little script, I like to have a big text so I can easily read what I'm rehearsing. And then we have line spacing. Can we see this? Yes, we can. Okay, there we go. Line spacing, bunch of different options here. Opacity changes, so you can see the background of your, different, a third monitor basically prompter is basically a third monitor. So if you want to have two things going on at once, say you're in class and you're trying to not be in class, you can have a different thing going on. I typically don't pay attention in my Zoom classes. Okay, anyways, next thing in the prompter with Camera Hub, if we go to, I don't know what's on this text. Can I open up text? Welcome. Here's the default little things here. Went the camera at myself. So here's a welcome script, and you can change things like your spacing and font size as we went over, and then also scrolling. So if you guys have a prompter, you might have seen that recently we added this voice sync feature, which allows you to basically just read your script, and it will automatically scroll your script. So it's a really cool feature. I don't think I've seen any other prompters that can manually do that, because I've actually worked in like broadcasting where we had a professional person reading from a prompter that I was controlling, and usually you have to manually control your prompter. And that is also a way you can control it using Stream Deck. I believe you can use Stream Deck Plus to scroll the prompter. So if you have a Stream Deck Plus and a prompter, it's a great little setup. You can turn the dial and it will scroll your prompter back and forth. And that makes it really easy to control. But personally, the voice sync feature is a pretty good option if you have your mic close to you, and if you don't want to if you're looking at the camera and you want to be focused on the camera, it's really easy to have the voice sync just go up as you read and automatically update as you read. So I think it's a really cool feature that has been added. And then there's some overlay stuff if you would like, or you can just see some positioning things. Maybe you want to stay in the center of your webcam, so you can add a little cross so you know where to look, keep your eyes at. And yeah, so that's prompter. Let me bring back chat here. How's everyone doing in chat? But yeah, I really am a huge fan of prompter. I think in terms of technology, prompters are generally like a professional level tool, and there's not really many consumer options out there. So Elgato is definitely one of the most, we have the best technology for a prompter this size and this open to the public. I think most prompters are selling or most prompters from professional levels are going to be like 600, like 1,000, and I'm talking about like professional broadcasting. So for consumer, for streaming, and the fact that you can just put in chat, that's my favorite feature, is that chat can just be directly into compatible with the prompter. It's really a cool tool. Can I read chat? Let's see. It is game changing. You know what is game changing? When I'm looking at prompter, not paying attention in class. That's game changing. Okay. Oh, what's game changing? These deals. Yes, everyone. Whoa. These deals are game changing. Just like prompter. Okay. I think we can cut back to the main table for a unboxing.
Thank you, Sean, for the prompter demo.
Hello.
And while you're unboxing, I have words that I think everybody's going to be very excited to hear, which is that the giveaway is started. So while you're unboxing, everybody can type savings into chat to go ahead and enter the giveaway. This will be running for the rest of the stream. You can go ahead and type not exclamation point savings, just savings. And then you can do exclamation point giveaway if you want to read more about the giveaway. This is limited regions, and also, as always, be sure to check out our terms. But yeah, go ahead and give us that unboxing.
What are we unboxing? Or what are we giving away?
We're giving away an Elgato Neon Light. These are very exclusive. You can't buy them. They're only available recently as of recent only giveaways. We used to have it as like a purchase bundle. Like if you spend over 300, you could get one. But it's been a while since that. These days, it's only giveaways. So if you want to win one, this is the time to get it.
Neon light.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah. All right. So.
All right. So we have the Facecam Mark II in our hands, and look, it comes in the box with this shutter. What do you call it? Built-in shutter, lens shutter. We can open it up to reveal privacy shutter. Yes, we can open it up. Can we cut to this camera so we get the close up of it opening?
Yeah. Well, I'll need to hold it though to be in focus. Yeah, I got you. Ready?
Let's have the opening of the shutter.
Yeah, so let's say you're having a meeting, you're talking to everybody, some very important clients, closing a very important deal, which I know that you definitely are. You can go ahead and finish your meeting once they close that deal, and you're ready to celebrate and go get some cake. Maybe open a nice drink. You can go ahead and close that, and boom, you're done for the day. 5 o'clock, lens shutter's on. Yeah. I'm going to sleep. 5 o'clock, you put that lens shutter on. Camera's sleeping, I'm sleeping.
Yeah, I do actually really like the privacy shutter because typically if I don't have a privacy shutter on my camera, I always have to I personally kind of get the ick if I'm not
the ick. Don't get the ick.
If the camera's on and I'm roaming around my room, I don't know if I'm secretly on a Discord call and I forgot, so I just pointed my camera down. But with the built-in shutter, I could just leave my camera there and just swipe the camera shut with the privacy shutter. Really
I completely agree. I think that ick is probably honestly a really good way to put it. I am all about. I finish my streams, and because I use Camlink 4K, I immediately put that lens cap on. That thing is locked on the second I finish my stream. But yeah, on top of other things, it is just a nice way to just get some guaranteed extra privacy. There's also one thing I actually really like. I'm really picky about mics. Is that there's no built-in mic on Facecam Mark II. We didn't want to sacrifice the quality of the camera by giving you a subpar mic, right?
I know, yeah. I've seen there's no such thing as a good webcam.
I've never seen it. Maybe one day. As of right now, not a thing. So we didn't waste space in the build of Facecam Mark II to give you a microphone because realistically, we know where a microphone belongs and it should be pretty close to your face. And where a webcam is, it's not going to hit that point to give you good quality audio, right? So we went ahead and omitted the microphone on here to really make sure that there's space to give you the best quality out of your video, which is what the webcam, is built for. So that being said, I actually really personally love that it doesn't have a mic because I'm all about muting my mics. That's why I love the red circle on Wave 3 that confirms I'm muted. I'm all about being muted. I turn off all my audio sources. I never like the idea of having a mic that's active on my computer.
Sometimes when you automatically plug in a device, it shows up as a speaker or your microphone, and then it's that just saves you the hassle of going through your Windows settings. It's not going to
take over your audio when you
connect because I connected a PS4 controller to my computer recently, and it detected it as a microphone.
Oh, I'm sure you wanted to join your meeting with your
with my
COD mic.
Hold my controller like this and talking to it.
Yeah. It's my reports are on B, rotating. I don't know, some important meeting, and you sound like you're in a Call of Duty lobby. Microphones on cams never made sense to me. Yeah, that's why we really wanted Facecam Mark II to be about the video and not necessarily about the microphone. So that's why there's no microphone. So on top of the privacy shutter, you also have this nice little LED light that will tell you when it's active and being used. Also very useful for me. I like when I close all my programs, I like to see that little light turn off, show me that it's not actively recording or anything. And then it's also a cool thing about this too is if you don't have a USB 3.0 port, it can also work with USB 2.0. It's limited settings. It's not going to be the same output as 3.0, but it will still work. Sometimes you want to just connect it to maybe an older laptop and use it on the go. You don't necessarily need all the quality all the time. If you are in that pinch, it will also work with USB 2.0. However, 3.0 is recommended.
And I don't know much about connection and ports like that. I did just plug it in with an adapter to my MacBook Pro or MacBook, and it worked perfectly. So that's also a plus because I am a daily MacBook user. So to have devices that work with that is great.
Yeah.
And with this being on sale, I think it's a great opportunity for this is the fact that this is a 1080p 60 FPS webcam. I think the quality of the 1080p, I know people see the word 1080p and think that's just like, oh, 1080p is this. It's like there is a lot of tiers of 1080p. There could be bad 1080p, and this webcam
Yes.
has extremely good 1080p quality.
And uncompressed video as well. Yeah, one thing I do want to say is I agree with you. I mean, when I plugged this in, it rivals my Panasonic camera. They looked very, very similar when I connected them. I actually was confused for a second because I was like, oh, it's still my Panasonic. Whereas, Facecam Mark II. And then when I realized it was already, I was already previewing my Facecam Mark II output, I was really, really, pleased with the quality of Facecam Mark II when I first set it up.
Yeah.
This was before it launched even, so not even final firmware. I was really, really happy with the quality straight out of the box. It fit really well into my setup, and I think it will also fit in very well to yours.
Yeah, and another thing about how good it is that like I mentioned earlier, the aperture being a 2.4 lens, that is better than the lens I use on my professional DSLR. I have a 2.8 aperture lens, and so this just means that this camera is technically letting in more light than my DSLR camera. So again, with more light, you get a better quality image. And so you're getting a lot of, 1080p 60 FPS, 2.4 aperture, and it's a 24 millimeter, I believe, a 24 millimeter focal length. Is it 24?
I can double check every. It's a focus range of 30 to 120 centimeters, and field of view is 84 degrees, so very wide. I mean, we were both on the camera there, and we were very close to the camera, so wide field of view, but without the big distortion on the edges.
Yeah.
Something I want to mention, I did see somebody ask about the connection. So it's not Bluetooth; it is connected with a cable, and it comes with a USB-A to USB-C 3.0 braided cable. So it's actually, I don't think, not the cable it comes with these days. And then it is 79 inches. So it's a 79-inch cable, or 200 centimeters if you don't use the American units. So yeah, it's a pretty long cable, and it should fit comfortably into your setup. But yeah, this is one of the cables it may come with, which is the USB-A to USB-C. So it connects USB-C here, and then USB A to your computer.
Taller than me. I'm not that tall.
Oh, Apple Freak, did you give me the conversion there? Roughly 6.5 feet. I appreciate that. If that's correct, I don't know, but it's
I think
79 inches. Yeah. The webcam seems. We're using a camera right now for our stream. A Canon camera connected with Facecam Pro. Camlink Pro. And we're using a Facecam Mark II on our demo setup. So if you saw us demoing earlier with Prompter, that face camera we're using back there was Facecam Mark II. That's as tall as me. That's funny.
Nice.
We need to have you around at
weird
events.
flex.
Yeah, weird flex, but sure.
No, that's a good flex.
Yeah,
actually.
we should have somebody exactly the same height as each of the cables that come with all of our products at events.
Yeah.
So when somebody asks us, we just bring them over and be like, "This is how long the cable is, as tall as they are."
We could hire that guy in chat.
Yeah.
Stand there and just stand there.
You're hired. This is not contractually binding by any means. A Jasmine for scale. Jasmine says that's crazy. Jasmine will be on soon. All right, cool. So we talked a little bit about Facecam Mark II. We talked a little bit about Prompter, but just a reminder that it's the time to buy. I can't emphasize this enough. The sales are ending soon. If you want to upgrade your webcam with Facecam Mark II, it is $119.99. That's normally $149.99 in the US, which gives you savings of up to 20%. Some regions may even be seeing a bigger deal on that. So make sure to check elgato.com for deals in your region. And then I also want to talk real quick about Prompter, because Prompter is not only on sale, but Prompter also has a really good bundle deal.
I see that with the
yeah. It's got so if you buy Prompter, you get a free key light and cold shoe. So it's kind of like bundled already. Even if you just buy it, you get it for free, right? So that's $199.99, the 99 cents. To get a free key light mini and cold shoe with your Prompter purchase. So if you want a Prompter, that's
do you want a Prompter?
Time to get a Prompter.
I need to get one myself.
Up to 30% off.
The fact that it's a third monitor, like I have two monitor setups. I don't know what you guys have. If you one monitor setup, that's already kind of lame. But if you got two monitors, that's better. But a third monitor as a Prompter,
one monitor,
my bad,
Sean.
my bad. If you, I can't. I don't know how you guys function with just one monitor, especially if you're a streamer. There's no way. But the Prompter is great if just for chat or just for small little tasks.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. I think it's well, yeah. Get out of here, one monitor users.
I used one monitor for
Listen,
many years streaming. All right.
Get a prompter.
I'm on
and
team one monitor. I believe in you. I started my stream with one monitor, and I believe you could get through streaming.
Okay,
with
this
one
guy
monitor.
says 55-inch like monitor. Yeah, and then I guess you're justified. Okay, but get a. I would get a prompter to add in. It literally functions as a third monitor and
or second monitor. Yeah.
Or second monitor. That's
Yeah.
true. And that's just like one of its purposes. I think having it as a small little device for chat especially is so useful
Yeah.
because I've always, I currently have at my house I have like my main monitor and then a rotated monitor, but then having just one dedicated for chat, especially if you're going to be looking at the camera while you're streaming, it's very useful.
Jabo in chat is very funny. They're defending their one monitor. I work every single day, Jabo, with one monitor. I'm on your team here. This entire production, apparently, I'm being told back there. I mean, maybe we can get the full camera shot here. Is being run on one monitor. Look at Chris. He's so comfortable using that one monitor. And we've got a prompter in front of us. That's how we're reading chat. And then we've also got the prompter back there with the 2 monitors set up back there for the demos. So yeah. If you are looking to, read Twitch chat and make that direct eye contact, or you have a Stream Deck and you want to be able to scroll, like maybe a Stream Deck Plus, and scroll through chat like we are, that I can scroll all the way up and read that people are entering the giveaway, and that Compa asks if they can put it on my tab. That's so funny. Unfortunately, we don't have a tab here. It's not like a bar, but maybe we should do that one day. Put that Stream Deck on my tab.
Yeah.
So if you want to scroll through chat like I am, I see Badash. Hello, how you doing? You can try getting Prompter and check it out on our website, on sale right now. Deals ending soon. There's also the bundle with the low profile mic arm. So if you want to not only get Prompter, but you want a really cool way to mount it, which is personally my favorite way to mount Prompter, which is on a low profile mic arm. I think a lot of people realize you can do that. That bundle is available for $269.99 with a normal MSRP of $464.96. That is 42% off, Sean.
Okay.
Now I'm not good at math, but that's a big number.
First thing I didn't understand. Yeah, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
And
you also get key light and cold chew.
I feel like if you get a prompter, it'll change your life, but that's just me. I do. Yeah. I do one day really want to get one for myself in my own house.
Yeah.
My own setup.
Let me show you Prompter one more time here. All right, so to see, you can have, this is what my Prompter display shows, right? You can see chat right there, and I want to show you real quick what it's like to control Prompter with Stream Deck. So if you already have a Stream Deck Plus, I think it's a great time to get Prompter because the control that you have is huge. So let's go ahead and open the Camera Hub plugin here. And then with this, you can control your Prompter display, Prompter mode. You can preview, you can scroll. So I can add this right here, control my scroll speed. So if I want to scroll through my scripts faster or slower, I can change it there. I can also add this, and then check this out. I can pause chat. If you guys are going way too quick for me, I can pause you guys, and then I can choose to scroll up and down. This also works with scripts as I please. So look, I can go ahead and scroll up. If you check out that side camera, you'll see how I'm scrolling through, and I can see stuff from a while ago. I can go all the way back down, see the messages you guys are saying now. There's a couple other things you can control too, like the display. I can change the brightness, and I can do that on the dials, and I can adjust the step size. So if I want to really lower that brightness, maybe I'm in a dark room. We always suggest if you're in a really dark room to lower your Prompter brightness so that you don't see any of that like unwanted glare on your camera. I can do that really quick on Stream Deck Plus just with dials. But don't get it twisted. You can also control these features with Stream Deck keys. So if you don't have a Stream Deck Plus, you can still do all those things I did, but just with a Stream Deck key instead. So for example, Prompter control, I can scroll up and down. Check this out. I'm going to set up these 2 keys. Up and down, scroll. Do maybe by 8. So this one will be up by 8. The other one will be down by 8. And then I can look. I'm scrolling through chat the same way I was doing with dials, just with keys. So you know what? Don't be discouraged if you have, just a Stream Deck and you don't have a Stream Deck Plus. You can do all these things I just showed you with keys as well. Something pretty cool too, which shout out to our engineering team or our software team for this, is that as you change the step size, it'll automatically adjust this icon. Right, so this right now I'm scrolling down, right? This is -16. So it's going to scroll down by a step size of 16. If I make that +16, you're going to see how that icon just changed. So now it's an up arrow. I think that's pretty cool. I love this attention to detail, and you'll see this in some other Stream Deck plugins as well, as like the volume controller plugin. I want to say even Control Center, those like cross key little faders effects. We have those built into some of our plugins, which is really nice. I think it's just a really nice detail, makes your Stream Deck so much more easy to just, look at it really quickly and make these quick changes on the fly. Another thing I want to show you real quick too, before I go back to the main setup, is that you can also change prompter mode on here. So let's say I want to switch between my Twitch chat, but I also, I'm also running a script, and then maybe I'm also, I want to preview my OBS, right? Let's go ahead and show you how this works. So you can put any window on prompter. So let me go ahead and switch to that desktop mode, the display mode. I can put my OBS on here, and then if I just make some quick adjustments, actually, you know what? I'll do you one better. I'm gonna put my preview of this scene, my full screen projected scene onto my prompter. Now I can see my video output. If you want to be very vain and just stare at yourself in video calls, like I know you all do, I do it, you do it. Now I can see my video output. If you want to be very vain and just stare at yourself in video calls, like I know you all do, I do it, you do it, you just got to admit it. You stare at yourself in video calls, all right? You're always looking to make sure your hair looks good. You can do that and nobody thinks you're doing it. Have you ever been like, because I know Microsoft Teams is always in the corner, and I don't want anyone to think if I keep looking at that corner that I'm looking at my preview. You wouldn't know. You would think I'm talking directly to you. You would think I'm paying attention to you. Really, I'm just making sure that my hair looks good, all right? So then you can switch between that and maybe going back to your script. So then from here, you can, control your scripts, and you can scroll all the way back to the top, for instance. You can, control all these different things straight from Stream Deck. I'm back on Twitch chat now. See, now as you guys talk, you're going to be scrolling back in chat, and I can switch back through all these different modes. Somebody says I have totally unrelated to everything on the stream today. I walked onto Amazon and bought a PS5 on launch day. I don't know how. It was the most seamless thing. Everybody was having trouble, and I just walked on. Hi, Julian. How's it going? See, I can see that on prompter right here. In fact, I think that it should be bigger. So let me go ahead and let me go over to my camera hub controls, and then I'm going to adjust my prompter appearance here. Whoop. Prompter appearance, and then font size. Let's make the font giant. All right. I think you guys need to see that Julian just said hi in chat. There. You see Julian? There's Julian right there. I just zoomed in so big. Now you can read it. Do I need to go bigger text? Do I need to go smaller text? Now I can read everything. I can read what everybody said. There's Julian right there. I just zoomed in so big. Now you can read it. Do I need to go bigger text? Do I need to go smaller text? It's on.
Hello. Hello. Okay, I was thinking about what are some good things we can get. Let's say we want a face cam Mark II, so
you can get it on sale.
What? And a prompter. So let's see. We have a face cam Mark II and a prompter for sale. We combine those two. How can we build like a? What else could we get?
We can get that's a good idea. Yeah, let's build your setup. You don't have a setup yet.
Yeah, for visuals.
Yeah.
Visuals.
So back there, we already have Facecam Mark II and prompter. So what you were seeing me running is exactly what Sean just mentioned. That's a Facecam Mark II and prompter. So if you like that quality, you like that look, you can grab that. But did you see how I was controlling with Stream Deck Plus?
Wait, I did see that. I did see that.
Wait a second.
No.
Stop.
Wait.
Chat, stop.
Stream Deck Plus. Wait, you can control it?
You can control it.
No! That's cool.
Stop the presses. You can control your prompter and your Facecam Mark II with Stream Deck Plus. So Stream Deck Plus is also on sale.
Okay.
And so is Stream Deck Mark II.
Let me see these.
Yeah.
Deals.
What else do you want, Sean? Is it in bold colors? No,
know.
they're just all of them.
All of them are on sale.
Yeah.
Any color?
As long as they're labeled here. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you know what?
Any color? I like.
We have video. We have control. But they can't hear us.
They can't hear us?
Yeah, they can't hear us. We need a microphone.
Oh. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We need a microphone because if we have a camera but no microphone, then they can't hear us.
So let's get a USB microphone, guys. The Wave 3, both in black and white, is available for up to 30% off. I can't even count that high. I get lost after 5. 30% is a huge number to have on sale for a USB microphone. $109.99 for the microphone I've been using since it launched, and I swear by the quality, and I get so many compliments on the quality.
Yeah,
awesome.
for USB mic.
A USB
Very
condenser
great.
microphone.
But how do we mount this awesome microphone so that like the people can hear us better? Because
I wish we thought about that, Sean.
Wait,
did we?
I wish we did.
Oh my god, mic arms are also on sale.
What?
What?
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Wait, it's like what's happening? Why is everything on sale right now? Because we had the camera on sale.
Who did this?
We had the camera on sale.
Don't tell Julian, guys. Tell Julian to leave. I don't think he knows how much is on sale right now.
Okay.
We got Wave Mic Arm LP up to 25% off. And that's not only the black Wave Mic Arm LP, that's also the white Wave Mic Arm LP. So you can get it for $74.99 right now. My favorite mic arm, I almost mixed up the letters there. My favorite mic arm is currently up to 25% off. But also, in this setup right now, we're using Wave Mic Arm Pro, which is the new, more pro pneumatic gas spring. I always forget the words for this.
Gas spring?
So you can place your microphone exactly where you want it, and it stays there. And you can also adjust the tension on that depending on your microphone. So you can have it be a little easier to move around. You can have it be a little more a little more difficult if you want it to stay like a little more sturdy. And that is a really new product.
Yeah, this is a great mic arm. I'm so happy when I first saw it. I was like, this is
this thing is a
great
monster. This thing is awesome. It's built like a tank. And this is available for $149.99 from $179.99. That's 20% off. And this is new. I did not think this was going to go on sale. When I saw this on the list of Black Friday sales and Cyber Monday sales, I was so happy. It's so good. I'm so glad that you guys can get Wave Mic Arm Pro and get a really nice quality mic arm with really smooth movements, no squeaking, full range of movement. So let's say you have something like just a freestanding camera, no wires connected to it. You could 360 this thing. You could send this thing all the way around. I'm not going to do that because we have an XLR cable on this one. But it's got a very wide range of movement. If you're like me, always moving around in your setup, it's going to meet you there wherever you go.
I am very fidgety. I'm not going to lie. Every time I'm at home, I have my mic this close to my mouth, and I literally, if I move back, I will move my mic like this.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just me. Does anyone else do this in chat? Do you guys like? Some people just leave their mic like this, and then they go like this. But I always have to drag it.
Be right here.
And the fact that I was doing it earlier on the stream, just like moving this without, just moving it so freely. Yeah. So fluidly.
Replay, prove it. Yeah, we've been moving around the whole stream. I'm just like you.
Yeah.
Like the stream last week, Phil kept going back from the mic, but I'm on that mic. I like talking to you. You need to hear me. All right. So Wave Mic Arm High Rise, right? So Wave Mic Arm High Rise is also on sale. If you're not a fan of like the low profile look, or you just really like the classic taller mic arm, or you want it to go like something over your monitor, or you're trying to get a higher angle, which by the way, the low profile mic arm can also do a pretty high angle.
Holy. I didn't even know I did that.
He's like, whoa, did you just break it? No, I didn't. I could go real tall.
Okay.
And I believe it also has a riser as well. But yeah, the regular Wave mic arm, which is what we're using in the back setup back there to hold Prompter and Facecam Mark II, is also on sale. And I'm going to need a nice here, Sean, for $69.99.
Nice.
That's up to 30% off. And then we also have Wave Desk Stand, which is also a brand new product. This is a way to, if you're a podcaster, this is a real neat, real clean way to set up your microphone on your desk. Get that really close microphone to get that nice radio crispy voice, or mount something like a camera. Or one of my favorite things is if you get a third-party like tablet holder, you can put a tablet on here. You can put your iPad on this thing, which is so cool.
Yeah, this is a great tool, and I think in one of our releases we have like a tablet here, and it's just great, especially if you got, this is so a random scenario, but if you guys draw on your tablets, this is like this is a great little device where you can just mount your tablet on here and draw way easier. I assume I don't draw myself, but
I didn't think about that, Sean.
Yeah, because usually you're like,
Wait.
I know my friends have back problems because they lean down on their desk, so it would be a great little tool.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not even a drawer.
Because I use Procreate on my iPad. That's such a good idea.
Mount your Stream Deck on it. You
Write that
could,
down. Write
but
that
can
down.
you?
Someone write that
Can you
down.
really? I don't know.
Oh, I actually really need to try that. Wait, that's really good. I'm picturing it now. That's okay. All right, and that's $49.99 for Wave Desk Stand. That's up to 20% off. And then we also have Wave panels, right? So if you want to reduce
Yes,
some
I was thinking about
reverb-
this. If you know
Yeah.
if you're gonna get a Facecam Mark II, you want to make your setup look nice with the camera. So especially if you're gonna do like a tech upgrade for your stream or something. Imagine you're gonna tell your viewers, I just got a new webcam. Might as well pair it with a nice looking background with your Wave panels. And
Yeah.
I'm very happy that all the products are on sale in different options of different colors because I really like a lot of our products in white. That's my personal favorite colorway. So
The Wave
yeah.
panels in white are available for 20% off.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Perfect
so
for me.
that is $79.99 for the starter set, which comes with 6 panels and the mounting equipment for them. So we actually have some back here if you want to see them. It not only looks great, but you can reduce some reverb in your setup. You can kind of clean up that extra bounce that you might have in your room. And it also just looks really great in my opinion. And you can customize them as well. So right now, this configuration, we can shift and rotate all these shapes as much as we want. It comes with 2 different designs. So there's this corner design. So that's 3 of the ones you'll get in your pack. And then there's also what I like to call this line design. These are not official marketing terms. I don't think we ever
Line
named
design.
them.
Line
They need
design.
names. This one's Joe and this one's Schmo. So Joe
Okay.
Schmo. That's official. Put that on the website.
I believe it's the same. You just rotate them.
No,
No.
these two are different. This one
Oh.
has the line straight, and then this one's a corner. So you get 2 different designs in the starter set. So you get
Ugh.
3 of the ones with this angle, and then 3 of the ones with this straight line here, and that lets you make some really really cool different setups. You can really mix and match and change around the look to really match what you want for your setup.
Yeah, Bomber
Tank has them in
just
black
as
and
he.
green.
Yes, I was gonna say, this is a 6-pack, but I believe you can find different like smaller packs. I think we have some options for 2-packs
I
somewhere.
think it's 3
3 packs.
or 2.
Yes.
I don't know. Find
So
out.
if you want to do a different colorway, like if you want, mostly white, and then because it's on sale right now, this white, and then throw in some different colored ones, so we get different pattern going on. I think that's really cool. Personally, I like the all white look for my setup. So
Me
very
too.
very big fan of
I
that.
think
And
we
then
got just the 6 right now. I might be wrong
throw
on
in
that though. For the Stream
another
Deck
white.
app, is it possible to close the side panel of plugins? It's not as of right now, but that's a great suggestion. Maybe
Close the
something
side
that we
panel.
can look into. All right, let's look at some more questions. Now's a great time to ask your questions, guys. Any questions?
Any questions about Facecam Mark II or Prompter? Or
Does the Facecam have
bundles?
effects? It does.
It does have effects.
If you have an
yes.
NVIDIA graphics card, you get some background removal. You can have an eye contact effect. And you can also have one that follows your
Yeah, I think
face.
that's really cool. So if you guys seen those videos where the eyes are like being focused onto the camera and you're like looking this way, but the eyes are still there, or you've seen those AI videos. This camera can do it if you have the compatible graphics card to do it.
Yep,
With.
NVIDIA graphics cards, and you'll have to install the drivers for that as well. But thankfully, the Camera Hub software will guide you through that. It tells you exactly what you need to get that up and running. Yeah. And then the background removal is really cool too, because you can, somewhat newer feature, I guess it's not that new anymore, is that you can have like a video playing behind you too, which is pretty neat.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
Pretty cool. All right.
What's chat saying? What is chat up to right now?
The mic is an exact silhouette of an Among Us. That's sus. Among Us. How does the Mic Arm Pro improve on the Mic Arm LP? That's a great question.
Yeah, so first of all, I think I made a video about this, so I would know. The
Oh,
Mic
yeah, you
Arm
got this.
Pro, it's the main upgrade to me is the gas spring that we have going on here. So the traditional LP, I don't know if we have one of the. Oh, we don't. Well,
Traditional LP is at that setup back there, but I can grab this one.
oh, you do. So we could take a look. So the LP is right here. Oh,
Just
let me
grab
hold it.
from here.
Yeah, the LP
Oh, this one.
works
Oh, that's a
practically the same, or it does the same functionality, except we have a screw here you have to unscrew it. Oh, I'm tightening it. Unscrew, and you can raise and lower your mic arm, and then if you adjust it to where you like, you can lock it. Oh, you want to try locking it down
you can
right
get
there?
that locked in.
Yeah, so there we go. Like the mic would be close to my mouth here, and it's not going to adjust. And typically, you don't really adjust your mic arm anyways.
Mhm.
But if you are someone that does like me, kind of move around a little bit more than the given person, I'm very fidgety myself. So I do like to move up and down, sometimes very frequently, to adjust it right to my mouth if I'm moving around. Or sometimes, okay, guys, sometimes I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes when I'm playing video games, I get lazy and I lean back like this. So let's say I go from here to like down here, it just makes it a little bit more easy on the go to change how you hold your or how you move your mic arm around. But in terms of the differences, that is one of the biggest ones, and I'm a big fan of this gas spring arm.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I don't know if we mentioned this, but we have some updated caps here, magnetic caps. Very nice, some of with the Elgato logo, and they just pop up like this, very clean.
And then we're hoping to have customizable versions of this or different colors available soon.
Yes, different colors. That would be awesome. So you can change, especially if you, like I said, with the pattern, if you have wave panels with white and then like some black, and then if you want to get some white caps on your mic arm. I'm sorry if that, I don't know if I'm making noise by clipping these on here. Whoops. But if you get some in white, then you can have a different colorway. So
and then somebody mentioned that Sean said he uses a Mac. Why would you choose Facecam over using your iPhone camera? Well, I guess the answer is pretty simple there, which is, I mean, do you want your iPhone committed to your camera? That works. If that works for you, that's a great way to get, a webcam right now. Same as you can get a webcam with Epoch Cam with iOS on, Mac and on PC. However, you might want to use your iPhone, or you might not have an extra iPhone and you want to keep your iPhone around. For example, I'm streaming right now, but I'm still keeping an eye on things with my phone. If I had it as my camera, I wouldn't be able to, be peeking at my notifications. Or maybe you can peek your notifications if you have it connected, your iPhone with your Mac.
Yeah,
but it's just a
I
very
haven't
nice
even
way.
considered really using my iPhone for, I guess, FaceTime calls. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think because basically with the webcam you're putting on your MacBook, you're upgrading your MacBook's camera rather than replacing it with your iPhone's camera. Because iPhone, or to me, is a different tool. Like, or I just like having it down. So when I'm going to use my MacBook to just plug in a face cam, it's a little more smoother, and I do like the functionality of using a face cam or using our face cam, because you can connect it to Stream Deck. And I do have a Stream Deck Neo, and I use that for on the go. So when I'm using my MacBook on the go, I carry a Stream Deck Neo with me, and that can control the face cam Mark II. And it's just like my system is already set. So I really like just doing that. I don't believe like I can control my iPhone with Stream Deck. I don't think so with as a webcam. So because I use Basecam, it just makes it easier, and because I use Stream Deck, it makes it easier to use them both together.
Yep.
Than an iPhone.
I saw Vibe ask about a quick question they have with Wave 3. You can feel free to throw that question in chat, and if we can answer it, we'll go ahead and do our best. Lady asks, if you do makeup streams, can you use Prompter as a makeup mirror while looking straight into the camera? That's interesting. I haven't seen somebody use that yet, but
Yeah,
you would have to you would have to keep in mind that it's not going to be a proper mirror in this case, because there is a mirror built into it, but that's mirroring the monitor underneath. But you can put your video output display on Prompter, and you can be looking at that video output as you're doing your makeup. And if that's something that you are able to do, you're way more talented at makeup than I am personally. I'm not very good at that. I think I need a mirror.
What if we combined a Elgato ring light and Prompter in the middle,
now
and then
we're talking.
you basically got
Now
that
you got the ring light
that Prompter, or you have the makeup setup? Because most makeup content creators, don't you guys use? I would assume like your like a cell phone and a ring light. So to use a ring light with Prompter, I mean, I think that's pretty close to looking at yourself, because with the Prompter you can see yourself. Otherwise, using a regular mirror, like just an actual mirror, is probably the best way. But if you are talking about screen mirroring, then Prompter would be perfectly fine to look at yourself and do your makeup.
But you know what? We can get real creative here, because Prompter has 2 cold shoe mounts on top of it. So what you can do is get some sort of grip to hold the mirror that has a cold shoe mount on the bottom. You could put a mirror attached on top of Prompter. So you could be doing some things that you don't need to be super precise looking into that video preview. But when you need to get a little more precise, you can just look up and you can use that mirror right above your camera, which might actually be probably the easiest way to mount a camera, a mirror near your camera. That might be a little creative. Are the mic arms only compatible with Elgato mics? Not at all. They come with a bunch of different universal threads that you can use. I can actually list them off for you if you're curious. I'm going to list them off for just one mic arm, but you can check on our website for the rest. I'm just going to do mic arm LP for right now. So it's actually very compatible with other microphones. By no means is it only for our mics. It is for really almost any microphone because it comes with a 1/4 to 3/8 adapter and a 1/4 to 5/8 adapter. So you can mount your camera, you can mount your microphones, you can mount like a third-party phone holder or tablet holder. Yeah, you can mount like a bunch of stuff.
Okay. I'm reviewing some questions.
I did see Vibe asked their question. Let me see real quick. There's a way of blocking monitor. So I'm wondering if I could use a headset with a mic and plug into the Wave 3.315 and the mic on the headset work. No, I think you're just going to get the headset. You're just going to get the headset there. It's not a mic input. It's just for monitoring your Wave 3 audio. Yeah, it's a headset out. Besides more buttons for macros, does Stream Deck XL have other benefits than the regular one? No, it just gives you more keys. So if you're looking for more keys right off the bat, and you don't want to switch between folders and profiles to get those keys, then Stream Deck XL is a great fit for you. Otherwise, you can, achieve getting essentially infinite keys with other Stream Decks as well. Let's answer more questions. I see somebody is using their spare phone for Pokemon Go, and they have 2 times the shiny rate. Let's go. Share your shinies, please. I have a triple monitor, and the 4th on top is a racing rig, and the boom arm is in the way. I mean, with how flexible these mic arms are, you might be able to mount it off your desk in a way that can get the mic kind of beneath you and not in your way visually, but it depends. Yeah. All right, let's see. Whoop. We got some more giveaway entries. I'm trying to find some more questions, so go ahead and ask them in chat. Just skip that Lightstrip Pro question because it's not on sale, but you can ask that in our Discord if you're curious. Looking at prompter with Keylight Mini free and Cold Shoe, no clue what a Cold Shoe is, and I think I need a Stream Deck, but I have no clue what I need. All right.
Oh yeah, can we show
them?
Cold
Shoe?
Can we
I don't
show
know if
them?
we have one on hand. Maybe we could get one if there's one in the office. A Cold Shoe somewhere in the office.
Well, a Cold Shoe is. Let me explain. So if you have a prompter, if you're going to get a prompter, and it comes with a free light and a cold shoe. So a cold shoe is a universal mount, typically found on cameras
Maybe a backtrack.
or just a lot of different products, but usually it's a mount found in different products, or different camera products. And it lets you usually mount things like microphones to your camera or lights to your camera or other devices. And so with Prompter, it's not a camera, but Prompter is a camera tool. And because of that, we want you to be able to mount the same accessories that you would to a camera to your Prompter because you're going to put a face cam, for example, into the Prompter. So you might want to throw in an extra light or throw in some other tools. Like a cold shoe can just mount a bunch of accessories. So a light is usually the most typical one. And so that is why with Prompter, we have a free light bundle. Or basically, if you get a Prompter, you will get a free light and a cold shoe. So it's just a great overall tool if you need. I did not get any. We were looking for a potential, like we were trying to show you what it looks like. But if you search up cold shoe online, you probably just see what that kind of that mount is. And yeah, it's good to just have it on Prompter because so you can mount your additional lights.
It cannot be mounted upside down because the way that everything slots in, it slots in from the top down. So if you were to mount it upside down, the piece will fall out.
Yeah, I will say you can mount it sideways though. I personally have done.
I don't know if Elgato recommends that, but maybe that's Sean recommended.
I can do it.
You can mount things how you want. Depends how innovative you are. I mean,
yeah,
we've seen some really creative setups, and while they are not necessarily officially supported, I am very glad that people have been able to be very creative and do things that I did not think our products could do. All right.
There we go.
Um,
Someone is explaining the hot shoes and
Yes.
cold shoes.
Thank you for explaining. Appreciate it. Exactly. Yep. You guys are great. Thank you for explaining. Awesome. All right. I mean, that being said, any last thoughts on Facecam Mark II and Camera Hub and Prompter?
And personally, I think these deals are like the Facecam. Facecam Mark II, one of my personal like favorite products that we have for sale. I think Facecam Mark II is like has so many good features for its price. The fact that it's on sale right now, it's already great for its price. And you see that in the United States, I think it's 120 around there. It's 119.99 in
That's a
the
great
United
deal.
States. I
Yep.
just think you are getting like a high quality webcam that you can use for years. Like if you are wanting to be a streamer or are a streamer and trying to upgrade your current your current camera, then Facecam Mark II is the best option for 1080p video. Unless you're trying to get 4K, then we have Facecam Pro, but Facecam Mark II for 1080p, which I think is a great, at least starting out point. Or I think 1080p, especially if you are a streamer, 1080p to me is great. Like that's all I need personally. But so for the fact that it's on sale right now, I would definitely take a look at that if you are considering upgrading your webcam. And then for Prompter, it's just a super useful tool. I've been recommending Prompter to a bunch of gamer friends. Like it's the thing is like I mentioned earlier, Prompter is also an additional monitor, and for its price, you're getting like chat. Because I know a bunch of streamer friends, they want an additional monitor just to read chat, like literally just to read chat. So what are they looking at? They're looking at buying an additional monitor, maybe an additional monitor mount. Like those get expensive, especially like buying a separate whole monitor. I don't need a whole separate monitor.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just want a little prompter to read chat. And then the fact that you can put your camera in there and read chat just makes it a great device for your webcam and your desk setup. What is going on?
Yep. And I saw Vibe ask if you can use WaveDX with Wavelink. So WaveDX itself doesn't unlock Wavelink. However, if you connect it to Wave XLR or Stream Deck Plus with XLR dock, then you will be able to have a Wavelink control with your WaveDX. Also, if you have a Stream Deck Plus, even without the accessory, you can also use Wavelink with your WaveDX, and you can control actually any microphone. This is a fun fact people don't know. If you have a non-Elgato microphone, but you want to buy a Stream Deck Plus, you can get that control with Stream Deck Plus, because Stream Deck Plus will unlock Wavelink even if you have a different microphone.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I love Wavelink, and to have that just offered with a Stream Deck Plus is a very awesome little additional just thing to have when you buy a Stream Deck Plus.
And I don't think a lot of people realize that. So if you want to try Wavelink and you have a Stream Deck Plus, you might not have known. You actually can have Wavelink. It unlocks with Stream Deck Plus. I see Dora mentions that's what you use with the Rode mic. I'm glad you use Stream Deck Plus with it. Stream Deck Plus is a great audio controller, really for any microphone, with all the different plugins and things that you can use. You can really dial in your audio settings across multiple applications and also multiple, microphones and different audio software. That was regarding prompters. Scrolling up, let me scroll before. I wanted to get prompter for myself, but due to my setup layout, I don't have the space. Well, if you end up upgrading your setup, then you can add it in. There's also some creative ways to fit prompter in, but yeah, I will say I don't think prompter is necessarily for everybody. You do need to have a spot in your setup to dedicate it to, or you have a more portable setup where you can have it off to the side without taking up space on your desk. I'm really glad it fits on my desk though, because I love prompter. It's amazing, especially with the dials. I'm so glad to hear, Dora. Dial in, because Stream Deck Plus has dials.
Boom.
See, I can make that direct eye contact with you because of
blown.
prompter while I read that message. I'm disappointed that there's not more puns in chat. That's why I'm disappointed. More puns, so we don't have enough. All right. So I think that being said, I think we can cut to a video either from Toxna or maybe from Gregor, whichever one hasn't been played yet. We have some really awesome videos from our community, and I also want to say before we go, huge shout out to those who submitted videos for the stream. We have some really cool videos that we've been showing you for the past 2 streams that we've done for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and I really appreciate not only the time but also the creativity invested into these videos to show you why the amazing people of our community like our products. So let's go ahead and cut to a video from our community.
Hi there. I'm Gregor2424. I am a full-time content creator that focuses on CCGs and TCGs, collectible card games, and trading card games. I'm an official Marvel Snap and Rivals creator. My favorite Elgato product has got to be the Stream Deck. Although I do use the key light and the ring light, it has to be the Stream Deck. It just makes my life so much easier. I'm able to use it as such. I'm able to switch scenes on the fly using it. I have all my commands. I'm also able to clip content with it. I'm able to switch to my main camera like so, to my dedicated cat camera, which I will also use to show my room. There's my cat, so people can check on James, hey buddy, with his miniature Danny DeVito toy. Yeah, but I love Elgato products. Would highly recommend if you're looking for something. Definitely check out the Stream Deck as well as the ring lights and some of the other products.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
I'm Sean now. Yeah, I'm the new Sean, guys. Let's go.
What's your first executive decision as Sean?
All right, Sean, you're fired.
So you're oh my god. Sean just fired himself. That's wild. Self-report.
And we're back. Sorry, Sean.
Sean is no longer with the company. I'm kidding. Sean is here. He's
oh, no.
we can confirm Sean's safe. You can't fire yourself. I feel like you can. Isn't that just weird? But it's okay. Sean's still here. He's not allowed to leave. We've got him in this room. He can't leave. All right. So
That was so subtle.
That was
so
subtle.
Chat, you guys didn't see anything, right? You guys saw nothing.
that.
You guys saw nothing.
All right, welcome to my favorite part of any of these streams, which is Jasmine and Brito Chaos Hour.
Oh yeah.
If you thought it was chaotic, you're not ready. All right, Jasmine. What's your favorite Black Friday, Cyber Monday?
All right, guys. Okay, so if you guys aren't already, just a little quick reminder for everyone just tuning in. You guys should.
Also, you can hear Clip Guard thanks to Jasmine.
Sorry. I mean, that's good. That means I'm being loud. I hope I'm loud enough for you guys to hear me. I mean, I can go louder, I can go lower. How are you guys feeling? But back to the deals. So in case you guys didn't already know, today is the last day to snag any of those amazing deals on our website because it will be ending, was it a minute before midnight hits? By, I think, 11:59 p.m. PT tonight. So definitely check out some of my favorite deals, which would be Stream Deck, of course. I think you guys in chat might already know that I love Stream Deck. I use a total of 3 Stream Deck XLs, a Stream Deck Plus, and a Stream Deck Pedal in my personal setup. Hi, Brandon. I see you. And also Wave 3. The Wave 3 bundle with, let me see, I believe it was... I remember from the top of my head, but the Wave 3 bundle with pop filter, wave microarm LP, and shock mount, that's one of my favorite bundles I have because I do use that for my setup. And I just love the Wave 3. I'm a condenser girly, so I really enjoy the Wave 3. It's like my bread and butter with my Stream Decks. Amazing. So definitely, if you guys have any questions about, how I use Stream Deck, feel free to ask away because I will go on a tangent for you guys.
Copa's in chat. Hi. Remember Copa from our
Hello.
stream takeover?
Yeah, I do. Oh, Copa. Oh my god, yes. That was amazing. How
are you? Hope you're doing good.
Oh my god.
Right, so that bundle and a couple others that Jasmine were talking about, like the Wave mic bundle, which includes Wave 3, Wave mic arm LP, Wave pop filter, and Wave shock mount, gives you the full USB condenser audio setup, is only $229.99. That's 28% off in the US from an original MSRP of $319.96. That's huge. It's almost $100 off on a really nice high quality audio setup. Or you can get a cheaper bundle if you're looking for something more affordable, which is the Wave mic bundle for desk stand. And that includes Wave 3, the Wave pop filter, Wave shock mount, and Wave extension rod so that you can get that mic to the level that you need it while you're talking directly into it at your desk. and that's only $169.99 from an original MSRP of $229.96. That's 26% off. The last bundle I'm going to talk to you about is actually, in my opinion, the best bundle. And if you want to go big or go home, this is the bundle to go with for audio, in my opinion. It's the Wave Mic Bundle Pro, which comes with Wave 3, Wave Mic Arm Pro, which is the mic arm we're using right now, Wave Pop Filter for that Wave 3, also a shock mount for that mic, and a Wave Panel starter set in blue.
Wow.
So not only do you get your mic setup, but you also get some beautiful wall decorations, and that's only $300 from an original MSRP of $459.95. So that's saving 35%. And Jasmine, if my math is correct, that's over $150 off.
Yep.
Bro,
Yep, that's and like as you guys
that's
are
good
seeing,
deal.
we are using the Wave Mic Arm Pro right here. It's one of our newest, and I don't think you can hear me really low, but
yeah.
it's just really, it's amazing, guys. It is amazing. I think you guys definitely check out. Yeah, we go big. Wait, they said, wait, we can go big. How? Because I'm already home, Kappa.
How about go big and go home?
There you go. Go big.
Shop
and
Cyber
go
Monday deals from the comfort of your own home and upgrade your audio setup. Yeah. And then also, while we're talking here, I mean, the main thing that we want is for you to understand our products better so that you can make that decision about whether or not you want it, which in my opinion, I think you're going to end up wanting it. So go ahead and ask your questions in chat and we'll answer them. There's no silly questions here. We want you to know and make, an informed purchase decision. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're here all day. Just so we can answer your questions and make it really clear what our products do, sometimes what they can't do, and what you didn't even know they could do.
Exactly. So
Boom.
I think for those guys, wait, how many of you guys have Stream Decks in chat? I want to know. raise your hand.
How many stream decks do you have, Jasmine?
How many streams do I have? 5.
That's a lot. And they're not only stream decks. It's not like it's Mark IIs we're talking about here.
It's 3 Stream Deck XLs, a Stream Deck Plus with USB hub, by the way. And oh, by the way, USB hub, I'm pretty sure is back in stock, guys. Because I remember last stream. Yeah, actually, we could double check.
I'm gonna check for you.
Because I checked last night. USB hub should be back in stock if you're in the US. I'm not sure about other regions, but now that we're on that topic, because I do use Stream Deck Plus with USB hub, and I plug my Stream Deck XL into USB hub. So yeah, and then 5 if you include the pedal. Exactly. Stream Deck pedal.
Christian's on break right now. Otherwise, I would love to hear that breaking alert about about USB hub and XLR dock being back in stock in the US. I see it.
Yep. See.
I can add it to my cart right now.
Oh my god.
Wow. Hog.
Oh
I know a lot of you asked for that last stream, and I had to tell you it's coming soon. I couldn't tell you a date, and I actually didn't know a date. But now it's back, so there you go.
It is. I checked last night because I saw someone ask a question about last night, so I was like, let me see if it's back in stock yet. And then I was like, oh, but the US is back. How do you maximize the pedal if you have that many XLs, Jasmine? So Luna Garden, so because we're both VTubers, I can see the VTs, we're fellow VTubers here.
I just you asking that too. I
did, because usually we put like VT in the name, just like people know that we're VTubers, and also because it's easier for our usernames, exactly. But basically, Stream Deck XL, so I'm just going to go give you like a quick little rundown. My first Stream XL is for all my toggles. So obviously, if you guys don't know what VTuber is, it's kind of like think of it as like an anime character, but you're tracking it with a webcam or iPhone. And, you can move, it tracks your movement, your mouth movements, just your shoulder movements, stuff like that. And the toggles helps you think of it as like a hotkey where you can toggle like an animation on the anime character, which is, waving high or like a little heart sign or like, sticking your tongue out and stuff like that. So those would be toggles. And a lot of VTubers tend to have a basic like 5 toggles, for example. It's like comes with a package. When you purchase VTuber model, they usually give up like 3 to 5 normal toggles. And for me, I have a total of 32 toggles for my VTuber. And
that's a whole Stream Deck XL of
exactly.
toggles.
And for me personally, like I want to make it clear, you guys do not need as many Stream Decks that I have. It's just for me, I like to try to make like my timings of like my animations as realistic as possible. Just like if I was streaming real life, right? So for example, if someone's like, "Oh hi," and I'll be like, "Oh hi, this is me in real life," right? For a VTuber, you have to like click on the key in order to toggle waving, right? And so basically, I have one just dedicated to my toggles. Just boom, wave, hi. The second Stream Deck XL is to control my scenes and like my commands on Twitch. So I usually also end up modding my own streams as well because it's just a lot easier. You can clip your own streams, you can mod your own streams. It's like a Twitch Tools by Barrator plugin that you guys can download. I definitely recommend that. And also just a regular Twitch plugin as well works as well. And you can pretty much set so you can control your own. You could like click a key and a command would just come up. So you know, instead of going like, "Hey mods, can someone do exclamation mark what was it, giveaway?" Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to call for them. You just click on a key, boom, your commands are up there. And then was it my third one is basically for like my soundboards. Soundboards I like to meme in Valorant sometimes, you know, I'll do like the Mario death scene when someone in Valorant just ends up getting, you know. So yeah. And then for my Stream Deck Plus, that controls my audio for my Wavelink and you know, also some other like keys and stuff like that. So now Stream Deck Pedal is really amazing for collabs, and also Stream Deck Pedal is on sale. I'm pretty sure it's still on sale throughout the entire sale,
Stream Deck
right?
Pedal, yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's on sale
So
right
Stream
now.
Deck Pedal is on sale right now. I definitely recommend getting it if you guys don't have one. I personally like to use it for collabs or like, you know, in-game voice chat.
Hand it to me. It's over there.
Oh.
Yeah, Stream Deck Pedal is $59.99 from an
There you
original MSRP of $89.99. So Elgato.com, go over there. You can have the two tabs open at the same time. You can hear us yap about this
Yep.
while
Yep.
also putting in your cart because the deals are ending soon. It's time to
It
it's
is.
time to buy.
It is ending soon. So that's why, you know, Stream Deck Pedal I think is very underrated. All right. So like if you don't have one, it's a lifesaver for comms and stuff like that in Valorant. Like usually if you see me playing Valorant, I'll be using Stream Deck Pedal to give comms like directly, like boom, like instantly. For example, someone's coming A, like they're A, they're A, they're B, they're B, they're rotating, right? Because my hands are kind of small, so I just use, you know, my hands are busy trying to go WASD, and then my right hand's on the mouse, right? So, and so if I'm like fighting someone, then Stream Deck Pedal, like they're here, and I go pew 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 pew, you know. So that's what I mainly use Stream Deck Pedal for, and then for collabs as well. So if you're collabing with a friend and you don't want to like accidentally like interrupt them, like you know, if you're talking to your chat, you know, on interrupt your friend's stream as well, then you can do push to talk on Discord. So that's how I like to use Stream Deck Pedal.
Yeah.
So yeah. But there's a lot of other ways you can use Stream Deck Pedal. It's not just for Discord collabs too. Like for example, Mr. Greggles, he uses it to change his scenes because he's a drummer. So there's also like, you know, kitchen, if you're cooking and your hands are, you know, a mess, you know, busy, don't want to touch any keys, and boom, Stream Deck Pedal. That's for you.
Or chat. You know what I'm gonna say.
Oh my god, I already know what she's
You
gonna
know
say.
what you can put on one of those Stream Deck Pedal keys. You can put a sound effect, and that sound effect could be anything. It can even be a
Oh
fart.
my god.
You can fart just by pressing on Stream Deck Pedal. Put
Oh
that
my
on
God.
the website. I did see someone say that they've been watching the stream the entire time while playing Dead by Daylight. So,
Ooh.
wow. I mean, thanks for being here. Wow.
Yeah.
You've been through a lot. We've gone through so many different conversations today. Use it to reload. We did mention earlier somebody using it in Tarkov to lean side to side. That's pretty cool. You can get really creative with it. I mean, maybe something like, you know, if you do like some sort of, you know, like role play games, stuff like that, you can really toggle off a lot of different settings and actions just by using, you know, Stream Deck Pedal or even your Stream Deck. And I did see that message
Oh my
from
god.
Sio, and that's wild.
Oh my
Is that an April
god.
Fool's?
Yeah, no problem, Luna Garden.
All right, so we talked about Stream Deck Pedal, we talked about Stream Deck XL, both of which are on sale right now. And I know you guys were asking for that Stream Deck XL sale. It does not go on sale often, but it is on sale right now. So Elgato.com, $189.99 from $249.99. That's 25%.
Can you use it for
off.
Control C and Control